This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system.
Showtime!
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I said, are you ready?
Are you ready?
No! I'm just ribbing. I know you're ready.
I apologize.
For the thousands in attendance, for the millions watching around the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, tonight,
Up the chaos!
proudly brings to you its
Awesome.
YouTube
live stream.
champions of the world!
This is your boy Elf from the Jkl Awesome. That's my boy Pop T, the hot Popics live stream.
And of course, if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you!
What's up, peeps? How we doing today? It's your
How you
boy
doing, bro?
Elf from the Jkl Awesome. That's my boy Pop T, hot Popics live stream coming at you Wednesday, 4:30 Eastern. What time is it over there?
9:30.
9:30.
Not Eastern.
Okay.
Not Eastern.
I thought it was 9:30, but I didn't want to say 9:30 in case I was wrong. Okay, 9:30. So what's going on? How we doing out there?
All right, and you? How's things your side?
I'm good.
Um,
You know, the normal, tired,
Normal, tired,
tired.
regular.
Yeah, that's how we do. Thank you for those who came out yesterday to support myself and the Bearded Barbarian in his in Pop 2 interview.
I don't know how you managed to get that exclusive interview. It's like it must
Yeah,
have
I'm
been
telling
hard.
you, man. Listen, the biggest name I've ever had on my channel, and it was awesome. Oh man. Yeah, but like I said, spoiler alert, I'm trying to get all the Pop the Chaos people on eventually.
Eventually.
That was something that I was gonna do anyway, but since we formed the group, it's kind of like I put off on it because it's like, all right, now it's gonna seem more self-serving because I mean, obviously I interviewed you. You were my second interview. I interviewed last, and then it's like, all right, now everybody else we're in a group with. I interviewed Dada, but you know she left the group, but still. And now it's like, all right, everybody else we're in the group with. If I start interviewing you guys, it's like, oh, they're just promoting themselves. So it's like I've been trying to stay away from it, but now it's like, you know what? I don't even care. Like I
Screw
wanted
that,
to
man.
beforehand.
We need to promote ourselves.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump like every other interview, so that way it's not like I'm just gonna do all you guys in a row. It'll be like, all right, I'm hit somebody else, then see if I can get one of our group members and hit somebody else, and then so yeah, that'll be that. That made me feel better about it.
For sure.
Oh boy, let's see. Let's hit up the chat, of course. Chase's Kingdom, what's up, bro? Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Although that was a real early comment. Of course, Yesy Lou, he always jumps in. I know he's most likely listening. DPJ, thank you for coming, hanging out with us. Yeah, I know he held it down last week without me. Really appreciate that. I popped in actually right when you were ending the show. I came back and I was like, oh damn. Because I came in like towards the beginning and I was like, I'm gonna pop in and out, and then by the time I came back, you were just ending the show. I was like, oh damn it. But
Yeah, you see, I took advantage of it. At the same time, I had made it quick, have an early night, you know, and then
yeah, that's
took
good.
advantage.
I'm like, listen, that's a good thing, because when you have your own when you're by yourself, you have your own timetable, and you're like, all right, I'm ready to end it. I want to chill. I want to relax. Like, and you need the rest. It's late for you. So I was like, yeah, that's no worries. Like, yeah, you did your show and you got off. Great.
The people, the millions and millions of our fans got their hot topics. Those for a short while, and then they.
Oh man, Crazy Scholars Pop Collector, what's up? Nick
Kevin,
Bayer, what's going on? And I know you think you're like
Uncle
having
Nick.
fun saying JKLMN, but actually, those are the initials of my mother, myself, and my siblings. My mother's J. I have a brother K. I'm L. My sister is M, and my other sister is N. So, you're trying to be funny.
That
but
is
you're not.
amazing. Listen. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? He's like, he foresaw that happening.
Well, actually,
Forgive my choice of words, but you know, those who don't have actual sight have that other type of sight. You know,
you're right. The story behind it, like I said, my mother was J, and her first child was K. That was my oldest brother. Then my sister was M, and my other sister was N. And when I came along, they were like, "Oh, you need an L name, so you can have JKLMN." So that's how I got my name. But the funny thing is, when me and my wife, even back in the day, before we were even really thinking kids or whatever, we were young and just trying to survive. I was like, it'd be funny if we did what my mom did and have kids with all our names, alphabetically. But her name starts with a B, and my name starts with an L.
listen, you got to
So
get
she was like,
you're gonna have to
"Hell
get
no."
busy, bro.
So she
You got to
was
get
like,
busy for that
"Hell
plan to
no."
work.
But the funny thing is, after that, we had our first kid. I let her pick the first name. Says, gonna have my last name. I said, you name the kid whatever you want, as long as it's a name I like. I don't care. So first kid name began with J. I was like, all right. Didn't really think anything of it. I liked the name. She liked the name. Then years later, when we had K, I let her pick the name again. I was like, whatever name you want. I'm not, gonna have my last name. You pick the first name. I picked J's middle name though, and she picked K's middle name, but she picked both first names, and then she picked the K name. So once we settled on a name, I realized it was JKL. I was like, "You realize what you did, right?" And she was like, "What?" I said, "We have a J, we have a K, and I'm L." And she was like, "Oh." I said, "Don't change it now." So we have JKL. But that's it. I'm not having no more kids. So when
It's funny though, like my kids, obviously the youngest, he's busy learning like the alphabet, or at that stage he was. And he's like, they're saying the alphabet and they came to realization, J, K, L. And then they're like, "Oh, dad. And they absolutely went nuts. And they realized, like,
because it's awesome. That's JKL Awesome. What's up, Funko PDX? How we doing? But yeah, that's how our names came to be. So just so you guys know. Rion, what's up, bro? How we doing today?
Wait. I'm gonna type something. I must type something.
We got Pop Hunt Day. 3 chases, 2 game cover, and the 2 Rebel Star Wars Ahsokas. Wow, nice. Dude.
Yeah, he showed me today. He got quite a few decent pops now today.
Say that again. I'm sorry. I was reading Nick's comment.
No, he got quite a few good pops today. That's really cool. A few chases.
Oh yeah, that's great. I mean, I've been finding. Well, I won't say I've been finding, but I've been seeing a few people in the past week or so picked up some chases in the wild. I was like, all right, well, that's good to see that you're starting to see more and more chases in the wild. Because obviously, first of all, they're very hard to find, but since 2020-ish, really, you don't see any chases in the wild. So now that they're starting to come back, that means that the product is starting to hit stores again. And
I think that maybe the novelty of the store clerks keeping them and selling them is actually worn off, maybe, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's funny though, because in my last week's episode or week before that, I mentioned that Baruto chase I didn't get from Forbidden Planet because they don't sell their chases, but it's exclusive to them. They do some sort of they put your name down, and then they do some lucky draw. And if you get a lucky draw, then you buy it, obviously, and everything.
Oh, okay.
So they make it like fair and everything. But now, the other day, I see everybody's posting all the chases they're getting from Forbidden Planet. It's like, okay, that's nice. Now you decide to change the rules once you gotten rid of the chase I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good though. It's nice to see, as you say, chases and stuff in the public.
Yeah. And to go back to what you said about the store clerks, my thought process behind that would kind of be that it's a lot of the younger people who are really into like the pop culture or understanding what the product is. Those are probably the people who aren't keeping the jobs longest. So you got the people who don't really care about the product and they're like, oh, we're just putting them on the shelves. So
yeah.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. So that the youngsters, they don't really stay too long anyway, and they move on and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So you get the people who don't really care; they're putting them out on the shelves. Whereas the people who know what the product is and know the value behind it would probably hold it in the back, buy it themselves, and then flip it. So that's just off the top of my head when you said it. I was like, you know what? Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Especially now, it's starting to go into the summertime. A lot of people, they want to be out and about. They don't want to be in a store working.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if the chases stay in the wild. He said, Target, Walmart, Amazon don't seem to ever get their own exclusive. They also have a chase. That's I know Amazon does it. I'm trying to think Target or Walmart. I don't know if I've ever seen a Target.
You see, the thing is, I think each of them, like you see, Target always gets the pop and tease. So if they had to get their own exclusive or chase, it will be kind of dumb, like in a way, because like Target's kind of known for getting the pop and tease or the black lights, isn't it?
Yeah.
Walmart, I'm not too sure what they normally get.
Well, they get exclusives too, but their exclusives are usually something different from what the rest of the line is. They very rarely
they get the artist series, don't they?
No, Hot
usually
Topic gets those. No, not Hot Topic. Target gets those too.
Target also gets those, yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember, like the Diamond, that was like a Hot Topic thing for a long time, like the Diamond Pops. But now FYE does diamonds, and I think some other places like the DC shop has diamond ones now. I think Disney has diamonds now. So, but yeah, I don't know why those companies don't really get chases. Because I know Hot Topics, some of theirs have chases, but
I don't know. Maybe because they got exclusives like all the time in a way. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like Amazon's always got a wrestling exclusive, like all the time. Like the latest one is Brock Lesnar, if I'm not mistaken. He's an Amazon exclusive.
Really?
Oh, I think. Isn't he?
I don't
know.
Haven't been paying attention.
But the thing is also like with Amazon, like it'll be Amazon.com exclusive. It won't be like Amazon UK exclusive.
Right.
It'll just get the dumb speciality sticker.
Yeah, I have to go back and see about Target and Walmart chases. If that's true, then
I can't recall anything. I can't recall anything in recent memory, to be honest, like that actually had a chase.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it myself, and I just can't really off the top of my head. So we'll see. It's something I'll look into, and I'll get back to you if I find that you're wrong. I mean, I know actually, speaking of Walmart, did I don't know if you could really see him, The Office, Ryan Howard.
Put yourself on the big screen. You can see it nicely.
Huh?
Put yourself on the big screen. You'll be able to see it nicely then.
Oh. Yeah. Well, they got the two Ryan Howard pops. And
yes, the Walmart exclusives are blue and white stickers, isn't it? Yeah. Blue and white sticker in writing, yeah.
But the one Ryan Howard they have has him with the frosted hair. Like, if you watch the show, you'll know what it is. Like, he dyed his hair frosted tips. And I was thinking, why did they do one of them as a chase? Because when it first came out, I thought one of them was the chase. I thought this one was the chase and this was the common. But
they got two different numbers and everything.
No, they have the same number.
But then it has to be. Maybe they just forgot to put the chase sticker on.
But I haven't seen any.
You can buy your own chase sticker. Put it on there.
But I don't think it's the chase though, because when I saw them in store, because somebody got me one of them and I bought the other one. I don't remember which, but
That's very
I
weird
did
though.
go see them in the store, and I didn't see any of them with chases, chase stickers.
I wonder if there was an accident or something, and maybe one was meant to be a chase.
Yeah, DPJ, that's what I'm saying. They're both commons, but when they first dropped, we assumed one of them was a chase. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a good question though. That's really a good question.
Really
I mean, I know
question,
Hot
yeah.
Topic gets chases, Pop in the Box gets chases, and a lot of other smaller stores get chases, but I don't know why the big ones don't. I'm wondering if they don't want to pay more to have another figure game. But then still doesn't make sense because then you had the
Listen,
Walmart one here. And
I
all it
don't
did was
I don't
color-
understand
So,
Walmart or Amazon. I don't understand, but Target I kind of, because they get a lot of exclusives.
yeah.
You know what I
Target
mean?
is
So that makes sense. You know, they don't get chases too.
And didn't they have a did they have a chase? No. I was thinking of they did a 10-inch. Ooh, what 10-inch did they do that I'm thinking of? Was it
Superman?
Thanos?
Superman?
Oh, Superman.
Where's-
Yes, the 10-inch Superman
Superman
with
is
the
a
chase. Yeah, they had the eye.
Was it
one with
Walmart
the-
or Target?
yeah.
It was Target, wasn't it?
Ooh, see now I don't know. Was it Walmart
It was,
or
it was
Target?
Target or Walmart. One of them,
Yeah,
I think.
it was definitely one of them. I thought it was Target, but it could have been Walmart. But either way,
There we
yes,
go.
that had
There,
a chase.
BJP said it was GPJ. So said it was the 10-inch Superman. Yeah, Walmart.
Yeah, we just saw. Yeah, there you go. So that was a Walmart. So there you go.
Oh man, I still want to get that 10-inch Superman.
I like that one.
Listen.
I wanted that one.
Like, dude, I didn't know there was a 9-inch Batman.
Yeah, that's an older one.
I didn't know that. I saw it accidentally today, and I thought 9-inch. That's weird, but it's very old.
Yeah.
It's actually just recently it dropped today on $7 a pop, and I was like, wow, okay, $205. I'm not in a hurry.
yeah. That's like when we were talking when Chase was doing the true or false, and he was talking about the was it Chase? One of them where he was saying the 480 piece Funko thing, and that was something they did all the time. They used to make 480. That was their limited run for a certain pop. So
yeah,
it's like they use weird numbers sometimes. They're like it doesn't make sense, but yeah, that's what they do sometimes. Yeah, Nick, my Diamond Batman came in. I showed it off already. Yeah,
I think he said he's
getting
getting
it. Hopefully you get it. I mean, it finally shipped today. It should have. Yeah, mine came in like what 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
It's
now,
crazy
yeah.
how
Oh
long.
man, I want that one, but I can't. I don't think you can get it this side anyway because the DC store doesn't have the option to sell the products here. When you go to the DC store option by the shop, it says not available in your country. I'm like, okay, thanks.
That sucks. I don't understand. Like, how do you have a major company that can't ship worldwide?
You know, it's ridiculous when you start needing VPN for real life, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Like, how do you not ship worldwide? I mean, even if the shipping is going to be extravagant, the buyer is going to be paying it. So if you like, say the pop was $17, I think, and say shipping is like $20, like that's on you to decide if you want to pay that shipping.
Want to buy it or not?
Like,
yeah.
you know, some people be willing to if you want it that bad. I mean, just think about it. The only other way to get it would be like maybe an auction site like eBay or whatnot or something anyway, and you're going to be paying that shipping regardless. Plus, you'll probably be paying more for the pop. So
I wasn't too fussed about it, but then when you showed it on your channel, I was like, "Whoa, this actually looks pretty cool."
Yeah, it's pretty nice looking. The only thing I don't like on it is the belt. If you look at the picture and then look at the pop, the belt looks totally off. And I know the picture is usually a concept shot and it's not the final product, but yeah, that was disappointing. I was like, come on. But it was all right. It was all right. Whatever. Smith's shop puts Chase up on the top shelf and you ask for assistance. Yeah, there's a lot of shops that do that too. They won't put the because like the Hot Topics, most of them won't put the chases on the shelf. They'll keep them behind the counter or keep them in the stock room, and you have to actually ask.
Yeah. Oh no, but like what Kevin's meaning is in this Smith stores, the shelves are big, It's like maybe 3 meters high, possibly. You actually need a stepping ladder to get to the top of some of the high like pops and stuff. That's what he means. They leave it upstairs, like right at the top, and then they.
So yeah, you can't go get them. They have to go get them for
Well,
you.
you can technically because they do leave the ladder stairs.
Oh, the ladder out.
Yeah, they do leave it out.
What's up, Chef 3? Thank you for coming through. Quick draw. How's it going? Thank you for coming to hang out. Oh boy, Mike, what's going on? Thank you for coming to hang out with us. Yes, Nick, that's very funny. I'm actually one of the first people to go look something up when people are having a debate. Like if I'm at work and people are talking about something, I just be on my phone like, it says right here, blah blah blah.
Listen, you do that during live streams too. When it's something that you know you're right about.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then people are arguing with you about it. You're like, do you see?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, Toys R Us exclusives that only ship in Canada. That sucks too. But yeah, like I could have easily looked it up and we could have, but come on, that's what the chat is here for. I was the same way. Like when I used to go on watching Wayne Tech and they used to be talking stuff, and if it was something I didn't know, I'd look it up real quick. And then I'd type it in chat. No, this is what it is.
And now you'll forever be known as the fact checker.
Yeah, human fact checker. Well, actually, the reason why they started calling me that, because whenever they talked about Star Wars, I would always correct them on stuff. Because most Star Wars stuff, I don't have to look up. I kind of know a lot of it, at least the stuff they were talking about off the top of my head. But yeah, other stuff I would look up. But the Star Wars stuff, I was pretty quick with. Like, no, you guys are wrong. No. So yeah, don't mess with my Star Wars. So let's talk some Funko news. I know you guys might not have seen it, but today we got the 1989 diecast Batman dropped. Again, it's still available on the Funko shop. So if you want to go grab one, go grab one. It's available. As well as Wonder Woman and Iron Man, still available. They did a good thing with dropping the diecast and making the diecast, but they're killing the product already because they did so many restocks of Iron Man and now Batman that yeah, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna do a Boba Fett restock because it sold out twice really quickly. They're gonna do it.
Boba Fett went back in stock this side again.
Yeah, really?
It sold out. Yeah, and sold out again. But remember, you had 2 restocks. I think we had, that was our second restock, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they do another restock of Boba Fett because as long as it's selling, they're gonna make more. So
I think Kevin might know. Kevin, was that our second restock or was it our third restock? Or was our first technically first restock? Yeah.
Want a couple of trivia questions for giveaways like hey, you gotta be a human fact checker sometimes. Look stuff up real quick. Be like, hey Siri, blah 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 blah.
Educating the population.
Exactly. Like we literally have the world's knowledge in the palm of our hands. Let's go.
if you go over that Batman diecast or diecast.
Diecast.
if you put a light just behind it like the image, it actually looks flipping cool, man.
Yeah, they should do
if
that.
You get the lighting right, it actually looks really cool.
Yeah, they should do that with all of them. But that was I was pretty excited to see that it was back, but at the same time I'm like, I'm not gonna order it though. So it is. I want this so bad. Oh my god, Alexa Bliss. Oh, I want this.
I don't like that one though. I like the one where she's holding the doll better. But I kind of don't like any of them. But like, it looks weird, man. I like it. I almost bought this Dude Love today.
Oh, why you get it?
Because I decided to get the Stone Cold soda instead.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah. All right. What does Dude Love too? I want all the Mick Foley.
I want all of them, but I think I'll wait until I'll get them. I'm confident of it. And that dumb lunchbox. Did you see? Did you see who agreed with me? Did you see who agreed with me?
Oh boy, yeah, okay.
Were you
Oh,
were you were
they
you
got the
watching at that
stuff.
stage when he agreed with me about the socks?
Yeah, I saw it. I
I'm
heard.
just wondering.
Listen, I'm not saying that you guys are wrong about the socks, but as a company, people wear two socks. And if anything, what I would be thinking is, all right, well, I as a fan and knowing what it is, I could send out one sock with this product. But if you send out two, now they have two Mr. Sockos. They could give one to a friend. They'll have a spare.
That's not what you were saying last.
Some
That's not what
people
you.
will want to wear
You were
it.
saying people are going to wear socks. People are going to wear
Yeah,
a sock.
that's what I just said. People are
What
going
you
to
were
wear it.
saying.
So, let
Who's
people.
who's Mike?
check it out.
Who's this? Sorry, who's this Frank Zappa guy?
You don't know Frank Zappa? He's a singer.
I forget.
He's a singer. Derrick Henry.
Huh?
Oh, they got the Titans, Derrick Henry. Frank Zappa's a singer. He's a singer.
The Sanger?
Yeah.
The Sanger, grang, grang, grang.
Yeah, John Cena and The Rock. WrestleMania moment. Pretty nice. See, I gotta get a new mouse. Oh, I gotta pull out the new mouse. This one's going to crap. Yeah, Frank Zappa from Pop Rocks. This one I think could be a future grail. I don't know how many Frank Zappa pops they have. If they ever made another one. If they didn't, and this is the first one, then I might pick one up just to have it. I don't even really want it, but just to have it. Because I don't know if they've made another one.
Listen, they're going heavy with this Popsies nonsense, eh?
Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna lie. Some of those Popsies I like. I'm definitely not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna collect them all."
I see there's an Office one coming.
Yeah, they got Jim from The Office. I definitely want that. I want to get Harley. There was another one they did that Mickey. So there's a few of them that if I see them, I'll get.
Mickey.
Yeah. And I told Kay, I'm like, listen, you're in Walmart all the time. If you see them, pick one up if you want it. So, we got these are the Funko Shop exclusives that are still sitting up here. The Batwoman actually sold out. I wonder if it's on here. If it shows it's sold out. They sent me a notification. I was like, oh, sweet. Something sold out. Nice. Yeah, it's not on here. Did it take her off? Take her off. Okay, yeah. So the Batwoman finally sold out, and we know the Funko Shop exclusives don't typically restock. So, yeah, if you wanted that one and you slept on it, it's gone now. I like how they put these on sale. Look, they got some of these on sale. Grab them. Grab them while they're on sale.
I see Nick's friend got the Eddie Guerrero lowrider.
Oh, nice.
But it hasn't come this side yet. What is it? That's a GameStop exclusive, eh?
Eddie Guerrero, I think so.
Usually, isn't it?
Yeah, don't get me to lying. I don't remember. They announced it so long ago. I'd have to go way back in my feed to find it, to see what it was. I really don't remember. I mean, of course, we could just look it up, right, Nick?
Make me get angry.
I'm just gonna act like I don't know, and we'll just wait till somebody puts it in the chat. Let's see, Funko stuff. Funko didn't do too much this week, I don't think.
No, last week they did the Thor pops. I really like those goats. I'll collect those goats on that chariot.
Yeah, the
Those
goats
are really cool.
Yeah.
The goats.
Here we go. The Transformers pins, pop pins. These actually look really cool. I mean, I know this picture kind of sucks, but it's like the Transformers were made to be pins because the metal and they look really cool. I was looking at those like, damn, I would probably buy one. No,
They
plan
did
to.
they did Demon Slayer pops too. No, not pops,
Yes.
pins.
Yes, we're going to those. Of course, the Corpse Bride Hot Topic exclusive.
I like that. That's a really cool one. Now that should have been a glow, bro.
Yeah, it should have been. They should have either did the plain, the common, and a chase glow, or should have just made this one glow.
Now, sometimes they should just give back to the people, you know? Like, yeah, we
Yeah,
got a
they
glow
should.
for you.
Here's a Popsy I would get, the Hulk, because I love the Hulk. So there you go.
Yeah.
The Jurassic World. These are some of the others. I mean, I put some of these on my page earlier, so these are some other ones coming. Oh, the Harry Potter one, the Funko exclusive, Funko Shop exclusive.
A crap ton of dinosaurs they released, eh? We asked for more dinosaurs, they just like literally verbally diarrheaed it out.
Yeah, they should. We said it, but there you go. Here's Disney classics. You got the Angry Tinkerbell, which I love. It's such a cute pop, but then they got a chase. It's a Hot Top exclusive. They have a chase. You want to know the difference between this one and this one?
Yes, I do. Sorry.
It's the same thing. The difference is this one, her face is kind of red, kind of blush red,
Oh shit.
and this one is regular. So it's like all they did was take the face and put some red on it. Like you can't even see the difference. Oh, and I think the green is kind of. It looks like it might be translucent. Her shoes and her dress. I'm just noticing this is a darker green. So there you go. That's the difference. I'm like, come on, that's not different enough. But it's a cute pop. I'll probably end up grabbing one if I see it, whether it's a chase or not, because I got a fair amount of Tinkerbell pops as well. I got Mickey's, Minnie's, and Tinkerbells are probably the most of any Disney characters I have. His Jim from The Office. I gotta get this. Another thing I like about these popsies is if you look in the eyes always have something in it. It's not an eyeball. This is a stapler. And if you watch The Office, you'll know why it's a stapler. But so stuff like that is pretty cool. So they actually making them kind of unique in their own way. It's not just okay. Here's this little figure. They put little details that make you go, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. There's the Moana one, Charlie Brown, and they got a bunch of NBA players. So, you know, they're trying. They're trying. Stranger Things, the Hellfire Club T-shirt. It's just a shirt, no pop, just a shirt. But with Stranger Things dropping, ooh, is it the end of this month or end of next month? I don't remember when, but you know, that'll be a hot item. Oh yeah, May 5th, the new DC NFTs are dropping. I haven't heard too many people talking about these. He said one.
The thing is, like in a way, I kind of like it's kind of like they're giving us what we want in a way, because if you notice, they the least this. I haven't really looked at all of the NFTs coming out because I'm not really interested. But these are the least flashy.
Yeah, for some reason, right? You figure it's DC.
You know what I mean?
You think it's okay.
And I'm not angry about it. I'm not moaning about it. As you would think that it's just amazing. It's almost like they're listening when we say like they're making these pops looking so awesome. You know, and now look at this. They look cool. They still do look cool, but I mean they're not as flashy as last year.
Yeah, and I kind of like the fact that they did the Eradicator version of Superman versus just regular Superman. I'm pretty sure they're going to do a regular Superman anyway, but I like that they did this version of him. So it's not just the plain Superman. They should have did alternate versions of all of them, but I guess that would only appeal to the real fans of the comics who would know the alternate versions versus the general public who knows, okay, Flash, Green Lantern, Superman, Batman, Catwoman. But we'll see. They haven't. I don't think they've dropped any info about the physical pops yet. Obviously, it's May 5th that they're dropping, so that information should be coming out shortly because they typically do it a couple weeks in advance of the drop. So we'll see. I don't plan on getting any of the packs anyway. So, so this Star Wars shirt. I think these are showing up in Targets. So, you know, anybody sees the Star Wars shirt, it's Star Wars Visions, I believe. If I see it, I'm gonna grab the shirt. And I don't buy the pop T-shirts unless it comes with the pop. But I'll buy this shirt.
It actually does look really cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, because it has all the episodes from the visions on it. The different, well, not all, but like the different characters from different episodes. And I like the color scheme. It looks really good. I like how that looks. What's up, Barbarian? You say your little chickadees. I don't think you want to be talking about chicken, bro. Ordered J Jameson today that dropped the Entertainment Earth. Really? Oh, I didn't see that. I did not see that. Shocker, Jkl wants. Of course, it's a shirt. Let's see. Oh, Luke Skywalker with Grogu. Pop and T coming soon. Don't know where it's coming to yet. So this is like a rumor leak, basically. You see the special edition stickers, so that doesn't tell us anything about where it's dropping over here. But you guys know you're getting it over there. If it has a special edition sticker, you know it's going to be overseas.
And then watch it doesn't come.
Candyman, what's up? So we'll see. But I saw that. I was like, all right. I think I have Luke with Grogu, but I'll get the Pop and T set. Where are we? There you go. Demon Slayer. Tell us about it. Because I have no idea.
Demon Slayer pop, guys. Have a look. This character is pretty cool. Yeah, he's got like two personalities in a way. When he's sleeping, he's an absolute badass. Like he's super strong and shit. But when he's awake, he's like one of the most cowardless characters ever.
Oh,
so it's really interesting concept.
Oh God. I'm just saying you almost made me spit water. Jesus. Here's a Demon Slayer pop again. Here's a Demon Slayer 2-pack. Somebody found at a Target, I think. So yes, at Target. So these are on the shelves. So you guys, if you're looking for them, you better go grab them. They're out there. The Loki Frog of Thunder shirt. This is the shirt I like too. I probably won't buy it because like I said, I just finished saying I don't really buy the shirts unless it comes with a pop. But I like how this shirt looks.
Hey, listen, I hope the chat's listening because he's hinting at Christmas presents here.
All the way in April. That's right. What's up, Miss Payne? How we doing? You gotta let them know.
Well, I can't say your birthday. That's even further away.
Hey, listen, I don't care. Start saving up now. You think I would be mad if somebody sent me a Loki shirt for my birthday next year? I'll take a Loki shirt. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh boy. Here's the Iron Maiden pops. Of course, we just saw this one on the Funko shop. I haven't seen any of the others anywhere yet, but I'm pretty sure they should be in stores soon.
That specific pop is the most blacklight pop without being a blacklight pop.
Yeah, it's like why did at least a glow? Like all of these should have had some type of glow component to it because you could have put the hair as a glow. You could have did the eye here as a glow, his skin glow, the mask right here could be a glow. Like you could have taken. Oh, Funko. We're gonna get to them in a second, guys. The box lunch, Earth Day Gandalf is out, so those should be on the shelves. Go look at my video. This one, oh man, the comic cover Groot. This would look so badass. Like
comic cover thingy-majingy.
Yo, just look at the pop by itself. Listen, without the cover, if you just put this in a 4-inch box, I'd be like, yo, that's dope.
That's a badass looking mop, yeah.
But having the background cover reference to know what it's from makes it even better. Like, come on. This is one of the things that Funko does properly, that they do right. It's like, yes. Oh, man. I love the way that one looks. I think that's it. I gotta check to see what else is in my feed before I go too far back. Did they do? We showed the Moon Knight. Did we show the Moon Knight last week?
No, I don't think we showed the
Okay.
Moon Knight. That came out afterwards.
Bam! Moon Knight, glow in the dark, pop
I
and
first
tea.
this, I thought it was a pop and tea, but it's not. They're separate.
Oh, it is separate. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well, on the
Shop
Funko store,
and tea.
they're two separate things.
Okay.
But that I'm so glad they stopped making him look like a ninja. So this one's really, really cool.
It still looks like a ninja. It's just a better.
Well, not as much as the fact that he's not doing like a super flying kick like Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat.
You can see the more the outfit looks like more of a battle pose. So I get what you're saying, like you're doing the kick versus, But yeah, this is pretty dope looking pop.
The shirt is pretty
I don't
dope.
think I get it.
I'm almost sad that it's not a pop and tea combo because they like dope.
Yeah, I thought it was a pop and tea, but if it's separate, then great. That's even
A
better.
mummy ninja. You see?
Mummy
Quick
ninja.
Draw.
Mummy
Quick
ninja.
Draw understands what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that. Oh, and they dropped the last piece of the Stranger Things builder scene, which I still think is pretty cool. Like you have the upside down and then the real world, I guess.
You know
It's
what's
pretty
funny
cool. I
though,
like how you did
dude?
those.
I was thinking about this though. Don't you think it would have been more appropriate instead of 11? I know she's the popular
The
character, but don't you think like the mom would have been more
Yeah.
appropriate there since she's
Yeah.
the one that put the letters and stuff up?
Yeah, that's who it should have been.
To be
But like you
honest,
said-
like
like
I
you said,
understand the sheriff makes sense because she confided in the sheriff, if I remember correctly,
it should have been.
when
It should have been
during
the
that
mom.
thing.
This one
Yeah.
should have been the mom. 11 shouldn't even be in this scene because, of course, I forgot his name. Was it Mikey? Mike? Whatever. Yeah, he would be in the upside down with the Demogorgon. Makes sense.
Because at
You
that
have
point, that's when he
Hopper
was, yeah.
and the mom. 11 shouldn't even be in this scene, but that's basically the main character, so they have to throw her in there. They don't have to, but Funko.
I wonder if they thought if we didn't have 11 there, we wouldn't know that Stranger Things besides the big ass flower monster just below.
Oh, they definitely could have just put the mom instead of 11, but yeah, they did it. They did.
So I'll save all my moaning about the topic about Funko for the topic later, okay?
Yeah, we're actually about to get into it because I think that's it. The Lightyear figures, Funko exclusive Flocked Cat, and the
This is
Amazon
a new series
exclusive
coming out or something,
Buzz
is it?
Lightyear. Yes, a movie, Buzz Lightyear movie.
Okay.
You have the glow in the dark Buzz Lightyear. So, yeah, be prepared, guys. So if you end up going to see the movie and you like the movie, the pops come in. So be prepared to grab them. Those pop comic things, you can't fit the real comic inside it. Yeah, they should have made them the size of a comic book. I don't think they're the
slide
size
the slot
of
of Comic In, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it is what it is. All right, guys. So we're gonna get to our topic of the day. We just wanted to talk about some, of course, the newest Funko things that we remember. We had some rumors too, but I think we'll just hold off on those till either later or maybe next week or whatever. I don't know. Do we treat Funko fairly? That's our topic today, guys. We already spent way too long just talking crap, so I don't want to take too long on this stream because I know I'm tired. Poppy's tired, so we're just gonna fly through this. No, we're not gonna fly through this. We really want to know. Do you guys think we treat Funko fairly?
Well, listen,
What's
like,
up? Thank you for coming through.
if it's the thing is, like, look, I mean, I know I moan about Funko a lot. I'm very good at it. I almost got my doctorate in it. That's how much I moan about them. But like, in fairness, I think out of a lot of the YouTubers, and there are a few YouTubers that are like us, yourself and I, that we, even though we give Funko crap, we also give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, when they do some shit right, they do it right. But when they do shit wrong, I feel it's fair that we do tell them, hey, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And like for more specific topics, because I have a few things written down over here, but one of the things where I think we don't treat Funko fairly is when it comes to shipping. Like right now, most of us in America know that the shipping is crazy. We still got boats sitting out there with stuff that should have been out last year that hasn't even hit land yet. Like that's not Funko's fault, right? Funko can't control once they ship it out to wherever it's supposed to go. They can't control how fast it gets to where it's supposed to be. So, that's something where we need to kind of let Funko, the Funko as the company. I mean, other companies that sell Funkos, we can get on them all day, but Funko themselves, like we can't get mad at them because Target messed up the shipping on your pop. Like Funko did that, Target did that. So
you see, for a long time, Funko Europe will take forever to process your order. That was one of the big problems this side, right? Not the actual shipping, because granted shipping takes time and people understand. But like one of the biggest problems here was the processing of the actual orders and stuff. But lately, I'll give them the props. It's actually been very, very good. They process it very quickly, and it takes a little bit quicker than usual. But I mean, that's not them. That's obviously the company that they ship through.
Yeah, and actually, Funko, like the last few Funko Shop exclusives I've ordered, or not even just exclusives, but stuff I've ordered from Funko, I've gotten like within a week. So
Yeah.
Said, in my opinion, a lot of Funko's problems are internal. They announce new product way too early. Have horrible social media people. They produce terrible marketing content.
Listen, I got to disagree with him there, though. And I think I say it all the time. They're very late to releasing a lot of the popular brands, right? I mean, Squid Games has been finished for like 3 years already, and they just recently dropped it 2-3 weeks ago. It's like they are late with a lot of the stuff. But yeah, they got, and I understand it's licensing. You're going to pull the licensing card in a few moments. I can feel it coming. But like, look, they got the Buzz Lightyear pops and approved and everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's a big license product.
Right.
Like, they made the effort to get that early. Surely they can make the effort to get others earlier.
But okay, I'm gonna argue. I'm not arguing with you, but as far as your comparison to Squid Game to Buzz Lightyear, like Squid Game, you don't know it's gonna be a hit, so you kind of acted late on that. But like Buzz Lightyear, Disney, you're getting that license as soon as you can, because regardless if it's a hit or not, you want those pops out.
I suppose,
anyway. So
I suppose, yeah. Look, I agree
with what you're saying, but that comparison.
Definitely, I agree with you. But then you got why is there a wait on the Star Wars sodas?
That's what DPJ exactly said. What I just said exactly. See, so that's
why is there a wait on the Star Wars sodas, for example's sake?
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know what I mean? They got the license for it. What's the issue there? Why put on such a long pre-order if people want it? Ideally, all those Star Wars things would have been perfect to put out while there was the actual Star Wars show on.
Yeah, the thing with the Star Wars sodas, again, I agree with you, but I'm always going to try to play devil's advocate just to kind of put the other side. The bobblehead thing, because remember the Star Wars sodas, I believe, are bobbleheads. So I think maybe they were trying to find a way around having to do it bobblehead, and it just didn't work out. And they're like, all right, screw it, we got to make them bobbleheads. That's the only thing I could think of as to why it took so long to do Star Wars sodas, especially once sodas blew up, because they jumped into Marvel really quick, DC really quick, but Star Wars took forever. So that's the only thing I could think of why it might have taken that long.
Pointing out the whole communication thing on what he said earlier.
Which one?
In the first comment about it, DPJ's comment.
Yeah.
You mentioned communication too. The thing is, like, listen, like I've said it time and time again, use your social media accounts properly, man. Use it properly. Communicate via it. Like, if people are asking you questions, every now and then sneak in an answer to one of the people that's asking a question. It'll blow people's minds, I tell you that, because they're so expectant of you not answering.
Right.
Can you imagine you ask a question and Funko answers your question? You'll be like, oh, God, I'm famous, for one. And two, it's just, wow, okay, good, Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, but we don't have the people to watch social. Then, you know what? assign a second freaking Instagram monitor or something.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
they have enough. Well, I won't say they have enough, but they're a big enough company where they could have a better social media presence than what they
to
have
be
now,
honest,
in
yes.
my opinion.
And in regards to communication, and this is boils down to like with the Stone Cold soda, for example, say, because is that they communicated to us that it'll be available in September. A week later, all the top hitters of Soda World have cases of them.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's no like the communication, like it's kind of they're not sure themselves.
Yeah,
right?
they are. Yep.
And what I'm trying to do, and I know it seems like I'm laying heavy, I'm just trying to get all the negative out so we can hit this off at the end with the most positive thing we can ever have with Funko. Honestly.
Yeah. But also what Chase said with the minions. See, a lot of the stuff within the past 2 years, I can give Funko a pass on, especially with the movie stuff, because remember, a lot of the movies got shuffled around because of COVID, and they got pushed back. And Funko had these pops ready to go. Like we all saw the Black Widow pops came out, and Black Widow kept getting pushed back, and a lot of people slept on the Black Widow pops. And now the Yelena pop is worth how much? And I could have had one, and I was kind of like, I'll wait and see. And so that for that Chase, I got to give them a pass for that. Like you can't predict COVID, so and they probably had a timetable to have these things put out for when the movies drop, and you can't just have them sitting in a warehouse because you got more product you're making. You can't just have that sitting in a warehouse. Like your warehouse ends up filling up. You got to put it out. So when they do produce videos of the two Dutch. Oh man. And let me see what Nick said about Funko. Like the thing with shipping, a lot of times, yes, they'll use UPS to ship it a certain distance, and then they change it to the local United States Post Service because that saves money. I forgot what it's called, but there's a certain type of shipping that you do where you can ship it like UPS or FedEx to a certain point, and then the post office picks it up and takes it from there. It does take longer to get to you, but Amazon does it too. So yeah, that's something that sometimes it'll still get to you really fast, and sometimes it'll get to your area, and like you said, 3 days later you're still waiting for it. You're like, damn, it's like my post office. Literally, I could walk there in like 3 minutes. It's like 3 blocks from me, and I'll see the shipping notifications tell me that it's at my post office, and it'll take it days to get to me, and I'm like, I'm right there. I can go pick it up. Like, what's up, top of the pops? Thank you for hanging out.
That's the top of the pops. Thanks for stopping by. In regards to the two ladies, listen, I've been rough and I've been irritated with them lots of times before. Honestly, I have, right? And it just came to realization when they applied for the job, or they got the job, or they whatever the job at Funko.
So whatever the job.
I can honestly say I don't think they were told they're going to be acting in the near future.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Not. Probably not.
You know, there's a difference in doing an odd live or two, but then all of a sudden to have a scripted show and you got 0 acting classes behind you, it is tough. You know, and I give them the benefit of the doubt in that regard.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have personality for that type of thing, or you don't have
but even not personality, even if you do have the personality, someone tells you, okay, next week we're going to be starting this 6-week campaign of doing Funko Funhouse. You're the main star. Gee, thanks, Freddie. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? So like, it's kind of like I just kind of I give it to them there. They're not really actors.
Yeah. I don't blame the ladies that do it. It's just I don't watch them because the few times I have watched it, I was just kind of like, it just seems kind of cornball. They're playing it up too much. They're overacting almost in a sense, trying to be cheery and stuff. It's like,
the thing is, they make it cheesy and almost childish in a sense, not childish and childish, but childlike, right?
And
but then they promote a channel, and I'm no heat on this channel at all. I love the guys, but Taco Pops. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're trying to promote this product of their own, and then they have a featured Funko slapping my nipples and all the shit. Like, dude, do you even watch their channel? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
right.
You know, and that leads into my one other point, if that's okay with you, is they don't do research.
Exactly.
And that confirmed it for me. I've said it for years, or not for years. I've only been collecting for 5 minutes.
Yeah, right.
But like, but that confirmed it for me.
Right, and that's the thing. It's like, again, nothing against Taco Pops. Love them. They're hilarious. But if you watch their videos, as a company like Funko, the way they talk and their raunchy humor is, would you want?
You should be hesitant to share their product.
Your company, right? And the fact that if you watch the Taco Pops video they did for Funko, they're not really acting like themselves. If you watch Taco Pops videos and you watch that video they did for Funko, you're like, okay, that's a real toned down version of what Taco Pops is about. And it's good for Taco. It's good for them. Like, they get the exposure.
Yeah, for sure. As I say, yeah.
Like I said, no disrespect to them. Love them. Watch the videos.
Love them.
They're my boys. I talk to them on Instagram all the time. But that's where you can see Funko's not paying attention. They just want the publicity. They want to be like, oh, look, they're in Australia. They're a big channel down there. Let's get them. And now we'll get all of the Australians on our side. Like, you know, and it's just, come on, guys.
Yeah, so like it just feeds my theory of them not doing research, and it kind of makes me worried. And it makes me worried when there's pops coming out of something that I really like and I really want to collect, and they bring it out and it comes out shit, and then I get angry and then I get upset, and then I'm like, throw the biggest tantrum on a YouTube channel that ever could be possible. But
yeah. Jason, Bob Ross. Well, everybody loves Bob Ross, though, so that's not a fair comparison. Like, Bob Ross could come on and paint a picture at the same time me and Pop T are doing a live, and you guys would rather watch Bob Ross. So come on. He's a national.
But Shem, I don't think it's to be honest, like, I don't think it's fair to call them dummies and stuff. Like, in the sense of in the physics, it's like we don't even know if, you know, they're doing it because they want to do it, or is it because it's their job? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't blame them as people. I blame Funko as like using them, because they're not, in my opinion, they're not good at what they're doing as far as those vignettes and videos or whatever. I don't like them. So, all right, let's move on. Are we treating Funko fairly when it comes to their license selection? Meaning the pops that we are getting, the licenses that they are putting out. Now, I've always said, and I continue to say, you got to understand, licensing is very difficult. It's not just, oh, we got a license from Marvel, we can make any Marvel we want. They get certain things they can do and certain things they can't do. And the big wigs at Marvel are paying attention and saying, okay, you can do this, 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 and this, but you can't do this, 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 and this, which is why a lot of times we get the same pops over and over and over. Like Batman, you're going to get a billion Batman, different variations of Batman, but you're not going to get this niche character that you like. Like, where's the Question? Where's Gorilla Grodd? Where's Solomon Grundy? Like, you got all these other characters. It's because the company is restricting what Funko is doing. Like with Pokemon, I know that's a sore subject with you, but that's what it is. It's the Pokemon company telling Funko, you can do these.
No, I don't. Listen, dude. No, listen. You can't tell me it's the Pokemon company saying that they can't get the license to sell it in Europe. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, because they probably have a license. All right, let me put it to you this way: the same way Funko has to make the Marvel and Star Wars pops bobbleheads because they can't make them like action figures because they have exclusive action figure contract with Mattel, I think.
I understand
that's the same thing as overseas. Like, they may have a Pokemon contract where only they can produce a certain Pokemon type thing.
No, but look, it's kind of like, look at it from this point of view. Look at it from this point of view. McDonald's is an American company, right?
Supposedly. Yeah, it's
Right. Now, can you imagine they decide not to sell the Big Mac or the Mac Feast in America, but only in Europe?
Well, listen.
Do you understand? No, but you understand what I'm saying, though.
I
If
get
this
what
was
you're
some
saying.
sort of international product, I
I get what you're
understand.
saying.
But the fact that Japan falls closer to Europe
Right, but that's what I'm
than the
saying.
United States,
They
it doesn't
already
make
have
it just I
they
can't
already
understand it.
have a license in, like, remember, Funko just got the Pokemon license like a year and a half ago. So whatever exclusive deal that the Pokemon company made with whatever European company or regional thing, whatever it is, when you give an American company that license, it's like, all right, in America, you could probably do whatever the hell you want, but overseas, you can only do this because we already have a license with these people to do this. Because to go back to the McDonald's thing, like in America, pretty much every McDonald's can do whatever they want as far as their not whatever they want, but they can sell all the product. But there's certain overseas McDonald's that can't sell certain items that you can get here in America. So it's something like that. Like I said, I'm not in there. I don't know, but I know there's licensing things that kind of hamper.
Listen, I'm not the king of licensing. I have no absolutely jack shit about licensing, but like I just feel that they can do a little bit of. I think they can make the effort a little harder. That's all I think.
I'm laughing at Nick. Yes, Nick, it's called the Royale with cheese, but it's still a Big Mac, though. It's just called something different. I'm talking about as far as them being able to sell the Big Mac. For example, it's like here they could sell Big Macs all day, but then overseas they wouldn't be able to sell Big Mac. But it's McDonald's. Where's my Big Mac? So, I'm just saying. As far as licenses that they don't have yet, people are screaming about, oh, why don't they have this? Why don't they have that? They should get this. Licenses cost money. There's deals to be made. Like, you can't just say, hey, we want your license. We'll give you $1 billion. And the company goes, okay, sweet. Like, no, you got to figure stuff out. And they can't just get a license for everything all at once. They got to stagger it. Like, who's putting out billions of dollars to get crazy licenses? You're going to go broke. You got to take it one step at a time. And then on top of that, just think about, suppose Funko, for example, gets every license to everything you could ever think of. How fast are they going to drop product? You're not going to be able to keep up anyway. So
but
chill.
Listen, let's take a look at the licensing for the Pokemon quickly. Like, let's have a look from this side. Mm-hmm. What if they didn't have the full license? Let's imagine a restaurant putting out a menu, but they only have 3 items on that menu available.
Well, some restaurants do that. But go ahead.
Okay. You don't open a restaurant until you have your full menu ready. Right? You don't launch the summer menu until you have the full summer menu ready. Now, let's look at it from this point of view. Why launch that whole Pokemon thing before they actually had the full license?
There's like 900 or some odd Pokemon. So even if you don't get all,
but what I mean is, why not have the license for the first 5 Pokemon in Europe and the stateside?
No, because as a company, you're going to produce what you can and make the money and worry about getting the rest later. That's what you're going to do. That's what they're going to do. I'm just calling it how it is. That's what they're going to do. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying it's right, but that's what they're going to do. And obviously, that's what they're doing. They're just dropping them as they can. They figure, all right, there's over 900 of them. We could milk this for years. So that's what they're doing. Poppy's like, okay, I'm not buying it, but okay.
No, I'm honestly not buying it. I think it's just an excuse hiding behind the fact, no, we can't get the licensing for Europe yet. It's like not having the license to sell Pokemon in Japan. It's dumb. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't grasp it. And another thing that leads me to think that they're not making the right efforts, and they can prove me wrong. They can send me an email. I don't think they know me. I don't care. Like, I'm not on a blacklist of theirs in any way, obviously, or anything. But
if you get
in the order that they're bringing out pops, it doesn't make sense. And I think you tried to explain it to me a few weeks ago. How can you bring out Generation 1 pops and then all of a sudden Generation 3, then Generation 2, then Generation 9, then Generation 6, then Generation...
Yeah, for that part, I agree with you. Like
I can't understand it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
they should have started with Gen 1, did a good amount from Gen 1 before moving on. But to counter that, regardless of how they did it, you were going to get people complaining because older people who grew up or remember the earlier generations more, and maybe they're not into Pokemon anymore, like me. I remember Gen 1, some of Gen 2, a few from Gen 3, and then past that, like I have no connection to those. So if they did a bunch of Gen 1, 2, 3, I'd be happy. But the people who grew up in Gen 4, 5, 7, 8 would be like, well, where are ours? I don't care about those early ones. I want the ones I grew up with. So,
like, look, maybe for me, strategically, it doesn't make sense in the fact of bringing out all the starter Pokemon for Gen 1 and then randomly bring out Charizard.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And then you don't freaking hear anything about... How's it, Brian? You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
And you're not... Listen, dude. Hey, Lass, thanks for coming. You're not telling me that you won't go out, not you personally, but a Pokemon fan won't go out if you brought out Charmander, Charmeleon, and then Charizard.
Yes, that's something.
You're telling me as a Pokemon fan, you're not going to buy that shit.
That's something that we talked about that they should have did. They should have did the 4-inch of the starter, super size of the middle, and then a 10-inch or jumbo of the.
I think
final evolution, whatever. Like they should have did them in stages. I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know. Maybe it does boil down.
It boils down to what Chase just said. They just hate Europe.
Maybe it just boils down to the fact that they don't do their research enough.
Oh boy.
Do you know what I mean? Like maybe they don't. Like maybe they don't realize.
In certain situations, I'm sure that's basically what it is. It's like, okay, this thing is popular. Let's get the license for it. Let's just put out whatever, and we'll worry about the rest later. And it's like, okay, they did the Pokemon, and they sold well, and they said, oh, let's make them 10 inches because they're like their life size. And it's like, okay, now you have the 10-inch Charmeleon, Charmander, but now you have a supersized Charizard who's not as big as the Charmeleon. It's like, now they're off size. It makes it weird. I mean,
like the thing is, like, it's funny though, because like I can almost tell what's happening is they're trying to do research, but they're just not doing it in the right way. They would do like once every 3 months a Q&A. They'll find out. But I mean, people in February are going to like what's happening in February. Right? But they're not going to like that same shit that they liked in February in September when they finally bring it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's another thing we want to get into. And since we're going there, let's go there. The pre-order situation. This is something where I don't really want to say on the fence because pre-orders for product isn't anything new. But Funko has definitely taken it to another level as far as pre-orders. And again, as a business, securing pre-orders is a great thing because it's guaranteed money. But when you secure a pre-order for something you announced in January and it's not dropping until June, it's like that's just, I don't know. Like usually a pre-order is like a month or 2 away. They've been doing pre-orders for like 6, 7, 8 months, and that's just that doesn't sit.
You see, the thing is, like in regards to the pre-order, and I'll bring up what I brought up earlier about the Stone Cold Soda.
Yeah.
Don't say it's for pre-order for September and then it comes out earlier.
Right. That's another.
Do you know what
thing.
I mean? It's like crappy communication.
Yeah. You
and then don't make it obvious and give it to one of the biggest soda YouTubers ever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's people aren't dumb.
Right.
You know what I mean? People, they aren't dumb. They aren't. Right.
Plus
side, we actually do have a Stone Cold Soda, and I'm freaking happy for it. Like,
yeah, right. That's good, but I get what you're saying, and that's the thing. Like that's something where I'm not on board with Funko. Like all the pre-orders. I mean, like I said, it's great as a company to secure the pre-order, but they've definitely taken advantage of our FOMO, which is one of the reasons why all those Funko Shop exclusives are sitting there because they, when most of us were in lockdown, it was like, oh, got to get this pop, and you had a bunch of people on sitting at home just waiting for these drops. Now we're out in the world. We actually have to go back to living our lives semi-normal, and yeah, we're not going to be buying out every Funko Shop exclusive anymore. It's not as serious, and now they're sitting with a lot of stock on the Funko Shop. But just as a caveat to say, if you want any of those pops, grab them because when they sell out, Funko's not making anymore because they sat for so long. Funko's like there's no demand for them, supply and demand. So if there's any of those Funko Shop exclusives you want, grab them before they sell out. Okay, now back.
You see, the thing is also like
no,
like on, but like on that though, like dude, like another thing that worries me though is Funko Europe. You know for yourself, and also you see it on the exclusives on the Funko side. They're not selling out anymore.
Right.
And sodas don't sell out only unless it's exclusive. It doesn't sell out on Funko Europe either. Sodas don't sell anymore.
Right.
Don't you think as a company you wonder to yourself, why?
Yeah, because there's two things I'm sure they did. Because just because something is exclusive doesn't mean it's limited. So Funko could make a Funko exclusive and make just as many as any other common pop they make. But since it's exclusively through them, you figure, oh my God, it's got to be limited. Like, it's not necessarily limited. So I'm sure what they did is they saw how much of their Funko Shop exclusive stuff was selling out. So they started producing more. Now it's not selling out because, again, the FOMO is gone. More people are going about their lives, not really sitting here waiting for these drops. And it's Funko overload. Like, using myself for an example, I bought so many pops in 2020 that I had to tell myself, you gotta stop. And now I'm focusing in on more Star Wars and a few here or there that are like must-haves for my collection. Not oh my God, I like this new anime pop. Although I've never seen the anime, I think it's cool. I'm gonna buy it. Like, no, I don't care how cool it looks. If it's something I'm not into, I'm not buying it. So, if it's not a must-have, I'm not getting it. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of us in the community who feel the same as I feel right now. Like, no, it's too much. I don't care. I don't need it for my collection. It's not a must-have. I don't have to have it. So, they ended up with too much stock. And a lot of stuff that doesn't sell out here is most likely never going to sell out your side. And then the stuff that does sell out here, you guys get it, and it still sits forever. So it's like you said, when will you finally, as a company, go, all right, we got to change something?
I think what happens here, though, in regards to things not selling out, I think people are so used to waiting for it to come out, right? And it plays a big role in the fact that the stateside gets it first, right?
Right.
Then it comes to Europe.
Right.
Now, at that point, the Europe side are so tired of waiting, they'd rather source it somewhere else. Right? There's a big company called Pop Culture. I've mentioned them lots of times on streams before.
Yeah.
People rather get it from them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because they know they can get it still before when Funko finally does launch it in Funko Europe. Because there is still that fear of if it does come to Funko Europe, I might not get it anyway. So people have become accustomed just to get it somewhere else anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. What Candyman said, Funko will sell out and restock. That selling out and restock, it's not really a restock. What it is they had a certain amount produced. They'll put a certain amount up for order, and then when it sells out, they hold on and then put the rest. Like with the Boba Fett, they knew they had enough because they put it out. It sold out, and like 3 days later, it restocked. There's no way they produced that many in 3 days. They just held out on the amount they put out in the first place. And the restock sat on Funko Shop longer than the initial run did. So they know they had them. I think what they were trying to do was like, all right, well, we announced this drop at this day at this time. So everybody's going to be waiting. So it's going to sell out really fast. It makes it look like it's high demand. Then when we restock it, we'll just drop it and not say it's restocked. It'll sit longer. So people who didn't get it in the initial run have a better chance of getting it when it drops the second time, which is true because it did stay up there a lot longer, but you didn't announce when it dropped the second time. So people like me who were busy, I wasn't prepared for it. And people were hitting me up, restock, get it. And I had no opportunity because I wasn't ready. I was doing stuff. And unfortunately, when I'm at work in the actually doing my job, I can't stop to just order a pop. So, it's not really a restock. They just held out. But anyway, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's cool.
Yeah, and the old Funko stickers did say limited. That's what I'm saying. Like, exclusive doesn't mean limited. Like a Hot Topic exclusive doesn't mean it's limited. That just means you can only get it at Hot Topic. But people think exclusive.
Did it say Funko Limited or did it say Funko Exclusive and then Limited there somewhere too?
Yeah, it's like I'll show you this one. Here it is. The Nemesis Prime. See, it says limited edition.
Okay.
Yeah. So it would lead you to believe that this pop wasn't produced as much as a regular Funko exclusive. That doesn't mean that's the case, but that's what you would think. Since
they're leading you to believe it.
So yeah, Funko. The sodas didn't really come in like a wrecking ball. They came in really slow. People weren't into them at first, Nick. But then they just kind of blew up out of nowhere, and now everybody's into the sodas. Another thing, are we being fair to Funko, is restock, since we touched on it. And I'm not talking about they bring out a product, it sells out, they restock. I'm talking about stuff that's been out for years and they're doing restocks. Like recently, you see they've been doing 2-packs and 4-packs of pops that have been out for years. And regardless, it's going to upset people because as somebody who, well, I won't say regardless is going to upset people, but you're always going to have two sides of the argument. As somebody who say you started collecting this year, 2022, and there's a pop that came out in 2018, it's probably $40-50. You don't want to pay $40-50 for it, but if they drop it in a 2-pack, say like a Harley and a Joker, there's a Harley that came out 2018 and a Joker that came out 2018. They're both like $50. They drop it in a 2-pack this year. Now, somebody who missed it the first time, they get to get those pops. It's gonna mess with the value of your pops that you have in your collection, yeah, but not as much because it's being dropped as a 2-pack as opposed to singles. And I know some people will be like, oh, but still it's dropping a pop. But look at some pops that dropped in 2-packs and dropped as singles. And I have a perfect example. I really wasn't thinking about it until I looked back and saw some of my pops. But the Modern Family set, I don't know if you guys know the TV show Modern Family, but they dropped a 2-pack, which was a Target exclusive. And the Target exclusive pops in the 2-pack are the same pops that are single. They came out at the same time, but they did a 2-pack and they did 2 singles. The 2 single pops by themselves are worth what the 2-pack is worth together. Meaning, like if the single is $30 and this single is $30 and this 2-pack is $30. So it didn't really hurt the value of the single pops. And it's the same pop. There's no difference in the pops. It's not like they're different color schemes. They wear different clothes. So
I think in regards to that, I think they kind of hurt themselves in a way because it's becoming too common. In regards to making packs. I think people are going to get the idea of, well, I'm not going to rush to get common pops because I know maybe down the line they're going to sell them in a 5-pack or 3-pack or a 2-pack.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So in a way, they're kind of hurting themselves in the run where they're selling commons.
Yeah. Well, see the thing, and that's the thing I was about to say. Since you, glad you said it. If it's commons, I don't care. Like a common pop, produce it all you want. It's common. I mean, obviously, if it came out a long time ago and before a lot of collectors were into it, there's probably not as many out, and now you put more in the market, it might tank the the value of my common, which is now worth a lot because it is so old. But at the same time, as a new collector, that's what you want. You want to be able to get older pops and not spend hundreds of dollars trying to get certain pops. So, there's two sides to the argument. My issue is when they do vaulted pops.
No, see, now that's very wrong.
And
that's wrong from no matter what side you see that,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah, but I did hear an argument from somebody who said, well, what does Funko mean when they say vaulted? Did anyone at Funko specifically say, or is there anything in print that says when something's vaulted, they're never going to make it again?
That's true. Actually, now that's so true, though. They said it's vaulted.
Right.
And nobody said that you can't open the vault again.
Right, because Disney used to do it all the time with the VHS tapes, which is something I thought of. Because when I heard the word vaulted, that's the first thing I thought when I first started collecting.
And it's true, though, if you think about it, like vaulted,
that means
it doesn't mean that anymore. It doesn't mean that you lost the key.
Yeah, so why can't they make more? But again, if I see Funko actually printed something that says when they vault a pop, they're never making that particular pop again, then I'd be pissed. But
now realizing it from that point of view,
have they ever said that, or did we as a community just assume that, and that's what people spread around? Oh, vaulted means they'll never make it again. I don't know, so I got to find out. So as far as vaulted goes, I have to hold off judgment on that for now. I was upset about it, but
I was upset when it first started. In a way, I was hopeful too.
Yeah, so I have to find out what it's about. But once I see something where Funko said, yeah, vaulted pops will never make it again, then I'm going to be pissed again. But one thing I am upset about, since people brought it up, the Nova pop, that Nova PX exclusive pop was supposed to be limited to, I think, 30,000 or something like that. But they're supposedly making more of the same pop, not a different mold, not like a metallic or glow in the dark, whatever. It's the same pop. But they're dropping it with just a regular sticker as opposed to the one that says limited to however many pieces. That's some BS. That's something that I don't like. Not only that, like when Hot Topic goes back and makes more of a certain pop, and Walgreens goes back and makes more of a certain, it's like, listen, guys. Like, you're killing me right now with the way you guys are having exclusive limited, not necessarily Hot Topic or Walgreens putting restocking their pops, but stuff that's supposed to be limited that they're making more of. It's like, come on, man. That's just pissing me off, as you can see. Oh, if they unvault the pops, that's when I'm quitting. But see, that's the thing. It's like, again, Candyman, what does vaulted mean for Funko? Like, are we assuming it means they'll never make it again? Did they ever write that down? Has anyone ever said that? Or is that just something we assume?
You see, the thing is also, I said this before, since I'm a collector, I'm a new collector, if they start bringing out some of the vaulted pops again, I'm not going to argue, because that gives me a chance to collect some of the ones that I've missed out on.
Yeah.
That I want to collect.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can understand it's frustrating for the people that did get it and they feel they got some sort of exclusivity to that specific pop. But
yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, for newer collectors, them bringing out older pops that are high in value, yeah, new collectors are going to love it, but older collectors are going to hate it. So Funko can't win in that respect. So it's just a matter of, if it's not vaulted, okay, produce as many as you want. I don't care. Vaulted, if that means you're not going to make it again, then don't make it again. Don't unvault it. Like, especially if you have a certain character that you still have a license to, just make another version of that character. Like, why just reuse because you have the mold, you want to reuse the old mold? Like, come on now. No, you said it's vaulted. And that was my argument with the Mace Windu pops. Like, Walgreens exclusive, they're supposed to be vaulted. They just made a bunch more. And the boxes actually say 2022 on it.
If you look at it from the perspective, whatever. Also, you got to, like, a lot of the older pops, and I'll bring out Luffy from One Piece for example. Now it was
Right.
announced that supposedly there's an exclusive Warrior Luffy coming out, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, when you search Warrior Luffy, it's actually exact the same as the first Luffy pop, right?
Really?
Well, that's what comes up. Now, it gets me to thinking on the lines of, wouldn't all the pops look so much cooler is if they use the same mold, but maybe they use the better materials that they have today, the better paint skills that they have today. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well,
Because all of that has changed compared to when.
Yeah, compared to when they made them before. But even if you did a vaulted, not necessarily a vaulted pop, but you use the same mold as a vaulted pop, if you change the color scheme on it, especially with a character who's had multiple costumes and outfits or changes, okay, it's the same mold, but you did a different color. Okay, do that. Like, come on.
Yeah. Like I was
Yeah,
saying
Nick,
today,
I
if they
saw
end
that.
up
I
bringing
saw that.
if they end up bringing this another Luffy like this out, but a little bit more modern, I won't be angry. But I'll feel kind of bad because it makes that other pop look a little bit bad in a way. Like,
Right. The OG General Grievous are vaulted. I didn't see that one because I need the OG Grievous. But yeah, that it kind of sucks. And again, were these things vaulted as in never going to be made again, or vaulted as in there's a time limit of they're going to be in the vault before we decide to reproduce them or something like that? Or did they even ever say vaulted is never being made again? Like, again,
yeah.
have to look that up. But all right, one more thing. I had other stuff to talk about, but I would say let's talk chases. One thing I will be upset with Funko for is some of the lazy chases they've done. Sodas I won't really argue with because you can only make it so different because it has to fit in the can, so you can't go too crazy with a chase soda. Like, I like what they did with the Vince Clortho, where his human character in the chase is the demon dog. That chase was awesome. I haven't gotten it yet. Need to get my hands on it. Okay. Certain other chases they've done where the character is common, and then they made a glow variant or a metallic variant or a glitter variant. Some of them make sense. Some of them don't. I don't. But sodas, I give them a pass on. It's kind of, you can't really do too much with sodas. But some of these pop chase variants, yeah, I'm not too impressed. I'm not too happy.
It's like it doesn't mean because like it's like I feel like this kind of goes hand in hand with research in a sense, right? There's a Demon Slayer pop, right?
What's up, TechBot?
How's a tech pop? There's a Demon Slayer pop,
Uh-huh.
right? And this is a perfect example of a lazy chase, where it's one of they call him a Hirashi, and it's the guy that's praying like this. I'm sure you've seen the Demon Slayer pop, and he's praying like this, right? And then the chase is him just crying. Everything else is the same.
Right. I'm trying to go back. I'm going back to my
Now, what made them decide that that was the best choice for a chase? Like, I could give them 2 of the or 3 of the other guys. It would be so much better.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, also, I'll give them the credit. When they come out with an awesome chase, they come out with the awesome chase, right? And I'll give a good example. The Shanks chase, right? The regular one is him holding his sword, but they were smart enough to do a little bit of research.
Right.
And have the straw hat in his hand.
Right.
So it's kind of like it's not forgivable because we know that they can do the research.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like to lean into that, I'm wondering if, because Funko's a bigger company now, and I'm pretty sure they have sub departments within departments. So I'm wondering if whoever's in charge of the anime versions of the pops doing more research, or maybe they were just a fan of One Piece and knew the significance. I mean, it could be something just as simple as that. But maybe somebody did some research and was like, "Oh, okay,
It's kind
we
of like
have."
I think I dropped this concept to you once. Do
What's
you
up,
remember
Mr.
when
Holly
we
English? What's up?
as a sorry, no intro?
No outro.
This concept, it's kind of like when you got the latest TV series coming out. Each episode's got a different director.
Right.
It's like they're taking turns on who chooses to make this current line.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like you can tell the difference. While this person knew what they were talking about,
Right.
this person didn't know what they were talking about.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I got what you're saying. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it goes back to research. Like they could have did. We used the Shanks as an example. They could have did the Common without the knife, and then the chase with the knife, and it'd be like, okay, it's a cool chase. But the fact that somebody knew enough about the anime to say, no, him with his hat is a better chase. Like that should be the chase. All the fans would know what it's about. Of course, if you're not a fan of it, yeah, you don't know. You don't care. You're like, oh, what's the difference? Hat, knife. I'd rather have one with a knife. It's a better, it's a weapon. Like, but you as a fan, you know the significance of it, so that makes sense to you. And somebody at the company knew that. So that's the thing. Like, Crazy Scottish Pop Collector said to Tinkerbell, like, yeah, the last one I just showed, the chase actually noticed that the dress is a different color. It's more like a translucent green. And they put like the red blush on the face. But yeah, it's kind of a lacy chase. It's the same thing. It's not different enough. Like, come on, y'all could do better than that. Tinkerbell. But it is what it is. I think that in certain situations, like they did the I don't know what it was. It was like a robot character. I don't know if it was from Wally or some other show where it's the same figure. It's just one has a smile and the other one has a frown. And it's like, I don't know what it's from. I don't know if there's any real significance between the smile and the frown. It's just a smile and a frown to me. Like,
I see what you're saying, yeah.
So, so it's like certain chases. I look at them and I'm like, that's just okay. I mean, when they do like a glow in the dark chase of a character that has like a certain type of power or something, and it looks cool. Okay, all right, I get it. It may be the same mold, but it's significant that it glows. Like just like something that's flocked. Like, okay, this character flocked is a great chase, but in certain instances, they've just been doing some what I consider lazy chase, and it's been a lot. Like, okay, let's take the Alexa Bliss chase for example. I know you don't like that particular figure, but the Common and the chase are different enough that it's like, okay, it's two different figures basically, and it's like, okay, that's a pretty cool chase. And if you follow the character and know the significance of her transformation over the years, you get it. So, in my opinion, decent chase, but in a lot of situations they've been giving us lazy chases, and it's even worse when it's a lazy chase for a figure I really don't know anything about, because I really don't care.
Yeah, because you're not going to really notice what the thing is. Like,
Yeah, it's like I really don't care now. Like, like who cares about that? Like, if it's a chase of a figure I don't know about and it looks cool enough and different enough, at least I'll be interested. But if it's lazy, I'm like, I really don't care, because I already don't care about the character, and now the chase is just as lazy. I'm okay, whatever. So yeah, Funko, do better. That's all I can say
look,
about that.
listen. At the end of the day, I mean, mostly me, we brought up a lot of things in regards to in a negative point of view towards Funko.
Yeah.
And the whole topic of the thing is, do we treat them fairly? I feel that there's a lot of the stuff that's kind of to their own demise, to be honest. And true to your nature, you do try to see the best in everything, and you try and see the positive, and you try and be the devil's advocate and everything, which is fair enough. Like, but yeah, at the same time, I must say, there's a lot of pops that they brought out that I absolutely love, and I give them the benefit of the doubt. There's a lot of pops that they've done absolutely smashing jobs with.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate it and everything. But at the same time, I've got to say, sometimes when they do bad things, it makes me nervous for the future pops to come out. It does make me nervous. And like when I finally see that pop coming out, I'm like, yes, okay.
Yeah. Well,
Do you know what I mean?
One of the things we always say is when they do something right, we give them credit. When they do something wrong or something we think is wrong, we give them crap for it. Like we try to be as fair to Funko as we can be. I'm just I just brought this topic up because in general, I think Funko's doing a good job at trying to I say trying because I believe they are trying. Like as much as we may think they don't care or they're just trying to make money, well, they're a company. Companies are supposed to make money. That's what they do. So as far as that goes, yes, they're trying to make money. Yes, they're double dipping sometime where they make a figure and then make a glow in the dark of the same figure, and oh, it's a figure I want. I got to get them both. So of course, but at the same time, I think they are trying to get licenses to better, more content. I think they're trying to put more effort into making a better product overall. Because like Crazy Scottish Pop Collector and Nick said, like the Groot chase, the Groot soda, like the common is him smiling and the chase is him frowning, which I actually pulled in a 2 Soda Saturday. Me and Kay, go watch it. But for the sodas, I give them a pass because, like I said, with a soda, there's not too much you can do for a chase to make it too different because it's got to fit in the can. Like pops, you have more room because you have a box, and you can always make a deluxe or a supersize or 10-inch. You can play around with. But yes, they do. Hey, Mad Hatter, what's going on? Thank you for coming.
Mad Hatter.
They do. I do believe that they're trying to acquire more licenses. I do believe that they're trying to make more figures that appeal to a wider variety of people. Unfortunately, some of us who are more in the niche area of our collections, like say you, for instance, you collect anime, you collect wrestling, you collect Pokemon, and that's like the basis of your collection. You have a couple of DC here and there, and maybe a Pop Rocks or whatever, but that's basically what you collect. You don't have a lot of TV, you don't have a lot of movies, you don't have like a bunch of ad icons. So when they drop those things, while you may think some of that stuff is cool, it's not for you. So you're like, oh, I don't really care. So that's how all of us feel when they drop something that we don't really collect. We're like, oh, that's crap. Oh, who cares about that? Well, somebody cares. Just because you don't care doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Funko branching out and making more product and bringing in more people to the collecting world is better for the company as a whole, which is better for us as a whole, because more collectors come in, Funko can make more money to acquire more licenses, to make more product that we will want. So just because something drops that you don't like doesn't mean it's a bad product. It just means you don't want it, other people do. And for example, the Popsies, or as our friend Chase calls them, Poopsies. As much as you may not like them, other people probably are buying.
The thing is, like the one thing that I can say about the Popsies, though, sorry to cut you off, is the fact that I think they're going too hard on that product.
Yeah, well,
honestly, I think it's too hard. Like if it comes to, I think that's a perfect product for Valentine's Day, for Easter, for Christmas, Halloween, but not all year round. Like
I think they're putting them out kind of because like they're not really supposed to be collectibles, even though we know they want them to be collectibles. But I think they put out a few at first. It's kind of like what they did with the sodas. They didn't make a lot of sodas at first. They sold well. They picked up speed. Now sodas are a huge thing. I think they did the same thing with the Popsies. They didn't drop that many at first.
I suppose also I think what you're trying to say also is like, even though Funko is a collectible company, doesn't mean everything that they sell has to be a collectible.
Exactly. Like remember, they do Loungefly. I don't see a bunch of us buying them backpacks like that, right? And I think a lot of the backpacks they make are really cool, but those aren't really meant as collectibles in a sense of small, affordable things that you can have a lot of really quickly. Like pops are meant to be collectibles. Sodas are meant to be collectibles. Like the Popsies, they're not really meant to be collectibles. Of course, as people who like the company and follow what they make, we're thinking of them as collectibles, but they're just like a little cool, gifty product for. It's kind of like the Office ones. I know people who like The Office, so if I give that to a friend of mine who likes The Office, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is cute." It's meant for that. It's not meant to be okay. Here's an Office Funko Pop. Now get into Funko Pop collecting. Like, no, this cute little Popsy to put on your desk. Although that's how some of us got into collecting Funko Pops. It's like, oh, here's this cute little pop that I like from this movie, and now you have like over 100 of them. But you know, and I don't think that they would have made as many Popsies if the first few didn't sell as well. Because they dropped a lot of them. They got all these basketball players coming and Charlie Brown and all
this
sorts of
last
stuff.
drop,
So,
they dropped like millions. Like I was like, bro.
yeah. So I think the first wave sold really well. Now, if they die off, they die off because it's possible. Like the pop vinyls, they died off, and those were really huge at one time. So the Popsies.
But I don't
could
know.
die
I personally think that the Popsies is a cool idea. For seasonal things, and as I said, like Valentine's, Easter, Christmas, and perhaps Halloween.
Yeah. And I agree with you. That should have been their marketing strategy with the Popsies. It should have been certain ones for certain holidays, or just like a set for every holiday where you would give a gift like that. Not every holiday, but like you said, okay, Valentine's Day is coming, they do a set. It don't have to be Valentine like theme because most of the Popsies have positive type messages anyway. So, like the Hulk one they just came out with, it says, "I think you're smashing." Cool.
That's amazing,
They could do maybe some Easter themed ones, fine, because Easter. But Mother's Day, Father's Day, like you said, Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, they could have, and I agree with you, should have been more seasonal. But then again,
at the same time, also
is somebody's birthday, so
true. But like also, like the same time, I think it should have actually been kept to some genre. And I know there'll be some people that want certain genres and that sort of thing. But I think for what its purpose was, having basketball players as a Popsy doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, that's where.
To be honest, like I don't see it as being a Popsy. It's like having a Formula One driver suddenly as a Popsy. It's the same type of concept. Like it doesn't make sense. Like having a UFC fighter as a Popsy doesn't make sense. Like it's not. Those things are made to be cute. You can make Hulk cute.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. I think they were trying to take advantage of NBA playoffs because remember the NBA playoffs are going on and they're like, oh, NBA Popsies, people will see them and basketball's on the brain and maybe they'll sell. Like that would be my reasoning as to why they would have done that. Made basketball ones because like you said, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. At least I can't think of any reason why you would do basketball or any sport really, unless it was in that season and you're like, oh, baseball season, let's do some baseball ones. Maybe people will buy it. Like, other than that,
But otherwise, I'm happy with my addiction. I like it.
Again, this wasn't a let's beat up on Funko thing. It was what it said.
It's just unfortunately at the time, it's just a lot of this stuff was negative, and I own most of that. It's just the way I see certain things.
Oh yeah, and trust me, I have a lot more stuff we could talk about here, but we've been going for a while, and again, it's not about bashing Funko. It's just kind of get realistically thinking of, are we treating Funko fairly as a company? I think in general we do, me and you, because like I said, we give them credit.
And a few of the people in our circle do actually treat them very. I think.
But I think as a whole, a lot of times I hear a lot of Funko bashing, and I think about it, and I'm like, but that's not really their fault. Like sometimes people give them crap for something. It's like, but that's not really their fault. Like so. Anyway, we're gonna do our channel shout out. Our channel shout out today goes to, of course, another self-serving channel shout out. I don't care. It's Fet's Arcade. Our boy Fet over at Fet's Frequency has a second channel called Fet's Arcade. That is where you will see a lot of his gameplay videos and things of that nature. Go on over. I believe he has 14 subs, maybe 15 on his second channel. Go sub over if you like gaming and gaming content, because that's what Fet does, and that's what he brings to the PTC, and we love it. So go check him out. They need to make stockholders happy, and as a Funko stockholder, I'm happy when the stock goes up. So profits, baby.
Profits, baby.
That are now 16. Thank you, Mad Hatter. Fet will appreciate that. Candyman already subbed. Thank you. Appreciate that. So with those two things done, go over, check out Fet's Arcade. I mean, if you're into gaming and you're a gamer or what have you, follow. If you're not, you don't want to, you don't have to. Not forcing you to. Don't sub just because. Sub because it's something you want to support or you like. So we're gonna get into Moon Knight. Episode 5. Is that it? Do we have anything else to talk about?
If it's cool, can I just do that thing?
Oh, yeah. Before we,
because I know once we get into Moonlight, a lot of people drop. A few weeks ago, Nick Bayer did an awesome thing on Beta Pop. He decided to give Chase's Kingdom a big shout out instead of getting a prize. And then he decided to donate a prize. I still don't know how it works or what, but all I know is I got a gift from Beta Pop. And it was via Nick Bayer. It arrived. It was meant to be a soda and a pop, but he said something about it's easier just to send a soda. But yeah, that's not what it is anyway. I don't know. It's a soda, supposedly. I'm saying it's not what it's about. It's the fact that the gift is here, and I'm happy that I got it, is what I'm trying to say. I thought I'd open up because I know Nick always shows up to Hot Topics, and I know he does show up on my videos, but I thought, everybody else opens up things on lives, and I don't. So I thought I'll open up something for once, I suppose. So,
yes.
We'll cut it open. To my knowledge, it's meant to be a soda, but in the tracking, it said something about Lego. So I don't know. I don't know if you just said it was Lego or something. Very strange. I've got to figure out how to open this box. Okay, so it is a soda.
Uh-oh. What do we got?
Some awesome stickers. I don't have that yet. And the soda we got is a Vampire Mickey.
Vampire Mickey! Awesomeness!
Now, it is pre-opened. I can't assume or imagine this would be a chase or anything. Nothing that's common. But it's still cool nonetheless.
Yes. That's the soda that me and Kay are opening on our next Two Soda Saturday, which should drop this Saturday.
There we go. Soda.
That's
pretty
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, when
it's
we
very
open
small,
ours, yeah,
tiny. I don't have any other sodas out that I can compare it to. Anyway, thanks again, Nick, for sending the prize over to me. I do appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Peter Pop. I don't think he watches, but sure.
Awesomeness. Yeah, we did our Two Soda Saturday. You have to wait and see if we pull the chase. Watch this Saturday. And you see.
So listen, I don't want to be a downer Debbie or whatever you want to call it, or Downy Dennis. But did you know that your last pull for that, what you call it, that other one I sent you?
Vince Clortho?
Yeah. You broke the streak for chases.
Yeah, that was another thing. I was like,
oh, bro, you broke the chase streak. I was like, oh, man. every sodas I sent over has like gotten chases so far. I was like, oh, yeah, you broke it.
I didn't think about it when we were filming, but after the fact, I kind of thought.
And then when you were saying that the one it sounds big, I was like, yes, you got a chase, thank God.
Yeah.
And then there's like 2 comments, I was like, oh, no.
It was so funny because when I originally opened the box, which I put that video out after the Two Soda Saturday, so people kept saying, "Oh, I can't wait to see you open it." And I was like, "Yeah, I opened it on the other one." But
Yeah.
when I shook them and I felt the difference, I was like, "Yeah, yeah, okay." With the difference in what the chase looked like to the common, oh, this has to be a chase. And then when Kay came down and I told her about it, she was like, "Okay," and we did the video and I was just so excited. I just knew it was the chase, and when we opened it and it was the common, I man, listen, you don't see it in the video, but I was so disappointed because I just knew it was a chase. I was like, how can
Yeah.
it not be a chase? So yeah, that was so disappointing. But it's all right. It's a figure I wanted anyway, and now I have a extra one, so I could always sell it or trade it or give it away and get another soda I want, and then still have to get the chase. So whatever, it was all right. I appreciate you grabbing those for me. Jeez. But yeah, we're gonna see about the Mickeys this Saturday. That video should be ready. So with that being said, all right, now we ready for Moon Knight. We got to get to
Yeah,
Moon
let's do
Knight
Moon Knight.
episode 5. I mean, did you talk about episode 4 last week? I don't think you did.
No, I was actually very nice. I said we're not going to talk about it because we're going to wait till New Year so we can talk about it together.
Okay, well, I don't remember a lot of what happened in episode 4. But before we do that, we got to do this. Nerd Watch, baby. Episode 5 and some of episode 4 of Moon Knight. If you guys haven't watched Moon Knight up to this point, spoilers. So if you want to drop out now, we appreciate you coming through. We understand. But we're going to talk some Moon Knight. And just to say, go off of what Candyman said, right? Because I forgot. Should have bought Funko a year ago when it was $6. I did a video about a year, maybe a year and a half ago, on why you should buy Funko stock when it was at $10. And I don't know if anybody listened, but you shoulda. But okay, HCF, what's going on? Thank you for showing up. We're about to talk Moon Knight, so if you haven't seen Moon Knight yet, run away before it gets spoiled. All right. Like I said, I don't remember a lot of what happened for episode 4.
So episode 4,
the end.
he got shot and then he woke up in the asylum.
Yes.
In the well, I suppose we can call it the asylum.
Because the name of episode 5 was Asylum. So
Yeah. So now they hinted a lot of things in the 4th episode, right? They showed I forget his name now, Stephen Grant coming out of a coffin, and then they showed a third coffin.
Yeah,
second
the sarcophagus. The sarcophagus.
Sarcophagus.
Exactly.
Right, hinting at the third persona, supposedly.
Yes. Yeah.
Very excited for that, and yeah, that's cool. And then all of a sudden, they end the episode with a giant hippo, and in episode 5 we find out who it is. But during the episode 4, we see Harrow as a psychiatrist, which is really weird. It was crazy.
Well, this particular storyline I heard about from it was something that happened in the comics, and it was something that a lot of the people in their review videos were talking about, could possibly be happening. But when they actually went there, which was the big spoiler not the big spoiler, but the big Jesus, why can't I remember the name now? The word I'm trying to say, cliffhanger, that we heard what was coming up for the end of episode 4, and they went there. I was kind of like, oh, okay, so they're actually doing the mental hospital storyline from the comic books, where he was in a mental hospital, and a lot of the stuff that he was imagining he was doing as Moon Knight wasn't real. He was actually in a mental hospital since he was a kid. And now, so that's kind of what they're hinting at here. in episode 5 is that he's been in the mental hospital since he's been a kid. After his mom died, and all his adventures as Moon Knight and Stephen Grant and everything happening is just his imagination. But at the same time, they have him in the ancestral plane, which was it Harrow? Not Harrow. Terouette called it. Which, remember, the ancestral plane in Black Panther is something totally different. And she actually explained that, like, depending on who you are, the ancestral plane looks different to you based on what you believe in and who you are. So that explains ancestral plane throughout the Marvel universe. So they could take anybody to the ancestral plane and it look different because it's based on who you are and your religion and how you were raised, whatever. I think that was brilliant because that just kills all the conversation right there. Like, why did he see it this way and he see it this way? That's why. So anyway, you have him, Mark and Steven in the ancestral plane trying to they're crossing over to the afterlife because they're in the boat going through the reeds, the reeds, which is the Egyptian thing where when you die, your soul goes through the river of reeds or whatever it's called, and your soul gets weighed, and if your soul weighs more than a feather or whatever, that you get eaten by the god of death or whatever. I don't know exactly what it is. I'm not an Egyptologist, so don't hate me. I'm sorry. So you got him in the mental asylum with Harrow believing, or well, not believing, but kind of making us believe that he's crazy. Then you got his dual personalities trying to balance his soul so he can cross over. And they actually want to get back to the real world to help Layla and stop Harrow because they still believe that that's real. And then you got his flashbacks showing you what happened to make him have this break in his personality to where he adopted the identity of Stephen Grant from his favorite movie as a kid.
I thought
and how his mom abused him and all this stuff. It was like
I thought it was very cool because remember on the third episode we were wondering who was the real personality.
Right.
So remember, and now they finally confirmed it, which is really, really cool.
Yeah. Because in the comic book, Mark is the main personality, but as far as the show, they kind of left you to believe Steven was the main personality. But now the show, it was Mark was the main personality, and he created Steven to kind of protect himself. I like when Steven said, "Oh, I'm just your stress ball," because that's basically what it is. Whenever he was too stressed or emotionally overwhelmed, he became Steven to protect himself. So I was like, that kind of
is. The thing is, I don't know if I did myself harm or something good. I actually looked at basically I don't know if you want to call it the law of Moon Knight. Right? Someone broke down the Moonlight character and what it's about and gave the rundown of the comic book series, I suppose. I don't know. Damn, it's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot. It is a lot. If I can remember to find the video, maybe I'll show you. You can maybe have a look at it afterwards or whatever.
Okay.
It is a lot. There's a lot they can still do, but there's a lot that I wish they don't.
Yeah.
Because something I do notice without giving a spoiler from the comics is it's very repetitive.
Yeah.
Extremely repetitive, which could be possibly very annoying. Right?
Well,
but that being said, if this is the only season they're doing, I hope it's not though, because there's so much more that you can do possibly in a second season.
Right.
That would be a lot more fun.
Right. Well, as far as the second season, there's nothing talked about yet because Oscar Isaac supposedly only signed on for one season. But that doesn't mean he's not contracted to do maybe an appearance in a movie or something like that. Yeah. So we'll see. But to what Nick said, yeah, that's something that we I was going to touch on because when it happened in episode 1 where the girl asked him if it sucks that he didn't make it through the river of reeds, and he was like, well, that doesn't make sense. I'm not dead. And he said, well, am I? And that's just a weird thing to say to yourself. Like if he had said to the girl, "Well, I'm not dead, am I?" and said it directly to her, I'd have been like, "Okay, he's being funny," because I do that to kids. I make silly jokes with kids, but he kind of said it to himself, and it's like that was a weird thing to say, but I just kind of wanted to see where the show was going, and I'm like, okay, is this going to be one of those things where he's dead and he's thinking he's alive or whatever? And but as the show went on, you kind of forget what happens in past episodes. So when this particular episode came up, I kind of thought of that earlier episode where he asked if, well, she asked him that, and he was like, "I'm not. Am I dead?" Like, okay, so now you're like, is everything he's been going through, was it really in his head? But at the same time, I'm like, I don't think the whole thing could be in his head. Some of it might be in his head, but I don't think everything is in his head. I definitely don't think he's in an asylum. Unless
I think that's him coping with
right.
his different personalities, and that's a good way to associate multi-personalities, I suppose.
Right.
But I kind of do think, like, they touched on so many. They actually they made you well, they told us that Mark is the main character, but then they questioned Mark's sanity in reality. What is reality and what's not? That was a total, as Nick said. I don't know if the comment was I couldn't. That was a total mind
effort. Yes,
honestly, it was like you like when he started like that one. There was one part where he didn't want Steven to see himself getting abused and then changing it. He went nuts, and like you saw someone that's usually got the composure just go nuts. I was like,
right,
bro.
And in that instance, I don't know if that was Mark or if it was his third personality, because there's a part where when they're talking about it right before he goes nuts, and I actually wrote it down. Steven and Mark are they're on the boat, but they're inside in the asylum hallway, but they're on the boat. And when Mark is talking to Steven, he kind of adopts that like Brooklynish accent.
Yes, I noticed that too, where it was more, he said more, he like slangy sound, like,
Yeah, he's done that a few times throughout the episode. I think that's the third personality, because the third personality is supposed to be like this cabbie, and he's got that, New Yorker accent, and every once in a while it comes out. And I think that's that personality is coming out, but they're not really throwing it in our face as, that's this third personality. But one of the things about episodes like this in TV, and it reminds me of I don't know how many people watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer or remember this particular episode, but it's the one where there was one demon she was fighting and it injected her with some type of toxin, and she woke up and she was in an asylum, and the doctors and her parents were telling her that this thing that this life she thinks she's living isn't real, and they're explaining it away to make her doubt herself. They're like, okay, so you're a superpowered vampire hunter who's fought gods and demons and this and that. Like, does that seem real? And then she starts to question herself, and then she's like, okay, so all this time you've been fighting all these super demons, and now you're fighting 3 high school boys. Does that even make sense? Are these your big bad? Like, because at that time she was fighting these 3 high school kids or not high school kids, but kids she went to school with who were plotting against her. Pretty cool storyline, but and I've always thought like that particular episode of Buffy had me think, because at the end, she chooses the show, Buffy the Vampire Slayer as her real reality, but they actually show her in the alternate reality in the asylum in the coat, like just sitting there, and it's kind of like if you woke up tomorrow in a mental asylum and they were telling you that the life you were living is in your head, like how freaked out and just like how would you like it's a total mind effort, like you said. So I couldn't imagine how that would feel. So I'm taking it in like, yo, the trauma that he went through as a kid could have really messed him up because like you saw what happened. He went out with his brother for whatever reason. They went into the cave. His brother drowned. His mother went insane, basically herself, and started abusing him and really hated him because his brother died because of him, quote unquote, not really because of him, but kids are kids, shit happens. And he really took that trauma and internalized it, and his psyche snapped. And then you have the flashback of when he first went to Khonshu, and Khonshu was like, I can feel your pain and I can see you're fractured. And you have Steven telling Mark, no, Khonshu took advantage of you because he knew you were broken.
Yeah.
And then you have Harrow in the asylum world trying to help him because we don't know if he's really trying to help him or not, like what's going on. But
at first it didn't seem like it was helping, but towards the end it did seem like it was helping him, didn't it?
Yeah, it's like he's trying to rationalize what's going on in his head, quote unquote. Yeah. We don't really know if it's really in his head. Like, so everything that's happening, like I could see on every level how it could all be in his head, or it could be Harrow and Amit kind of messing with him, or it could be his trauma, or it could be all real. Like, it could really go in any direction right now, and I would plausibly believe, okay, this is what's supposed to be happening. Like, I really don't. I really hope they don't do the "it was all in his head" type thing though, because Moon Knight's such a cool character, and for the broader Marvel universe, it would be cool to have a Moon Knight out there. But I could absolutely see them do it as, yeah, it's just all in his head, and he's in a mental asylum somewhere, and that's it. Like,
it's funny though because you actually got like there's certain hints from the actual comic that's in the show,
yeah.
But they're not going the full comic route with it though at all. And one of the things I don't know if they mentioned earlier on this series is the fact that he's Jewish.
Yes, that was something that in the comic,
and they only touched on it now on further. And the Jewish part is the big part of the beginning of Moon Knight. Like it's massive. I was like, okay, I didn't know that. That's
yeah, I kind of like the fact that they didn't just push his religion out front, because it's like that's not the basis of his character. It's like it's not really that important to put it front and center. Oh, he's Jewish, by the way. It's kind of like when a character is gay and they try to push it in your face. He's gay. He's gay. He's gay. It's like, oh, he's Jewish. Okay. It's like just take it in. It's not one of those, oh my God, they threw it in my face that he's Jewish. Okay, I get it. So I like how they just kind of let it reveal itself in that way, as opposed to push it in our face. Because I knew from the comic that he was supposed to be Jewish, but I didn't know if they were going to put it in the show. But then when they showed it, I was like, oh, okay, he's Jewish. Great. When Mark and his brother went in the cave, the skeleton of the bird makes... Yes, that could be something too, because that's something that in the comic, I think, was revealed, that because it was kind of believed that Khonshu came to him when he was already an adult, but it was revealed that Khonshu had kind of been watching him since he was a kid. So yeah, that's something that could be possible, that Khonshu kind of marked him or has been watching him since he was a kid.
To my knowledge, I don't know if they're going to go to the full extent, and I hope it's not too much of a spoiler. There's only 4 personalities, if I can remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know there was 3, because when I used to read it, there was always 3. There was Mark, Steven, and Jake, and of course Khonshu, if you count him as a personality. But I don't know.
The 4th personality that I do mention, and I don't know, I can stop if you don't, guys. I want to. The 4th is some sort of like I think they described him as the person that financed him.
No, that was Steven. That was supposed to be Steven. Because
no, but they mentioned Steven separately. They called this guy someone else.
You mean in the comic?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Because in the comics, Steven was supposed to be the rich guy. He wasn't an Egyptologist. He wasn't like this goofy character like in the show. He was kind of like Bruce Wayne to Batman, you know?
Perhaps
That's
maybe
how,
I'm reading it.
yeah.
Maybe I didn't listen wrong somewhere.
And Jake was the cabbie, and Mark was like the mercenary. As far as I know, like it could have changed. I haven't read Moon Knight comics since like the mid '80s, early '90s, so
But
a lot
one
could have
thing-
changed since then. So
One thing
it
is
could
for
be right.
sure is something that I'm excited for is I would like to see some of the villains that they've got in the comic books.
Yeah, maybe I don't know many
be
of
honest.
Moon Knight's villains. I know they had the Sun King or the Sun God. I know they had Bushman because that was the guy who's
Now,
supposed to
Bushman
die.
was actually referenced in
Yeah, in this episode.
episode
They
5.
actually named him. They actually said it.
They actually said Bushman.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's dead is more or less the same route as the comics.
Frenchie,
also-
that's who you're thinking of. Nick said Frenchie. That was the guy who used to help Mark out. He used to help finance some of his missions and give him intel.
Yeah.
So is that who you're thinking of?
Possibly,
He wasn't a personality though. He was a different dude.
Okay.
Just like the statue that he was talking to in the earlier episodes, that in the comic book, that's one of his informants.
I listen. This episode made me feel so creeped out, so mind. It did, man. When they brought in the younger brother and all the shit, like I didn't want that in my life. Like it was
and
horrible.
in the comic, I don't
Like-
know if he had a brother.
No,
He
it didn't
might have.
mention anything. To my knowledge, I can remember when I watched the breakdown. But like it was horrible. But like it was just so much like, ugh, like I couldn't. Like it was so much like
Yeah.
And then you had his younger brother drawing a picture of a goldfish, and then him making
Yeah.
fun of the goldfish having only one fin. I was like,
It's like, oh, that's what you got.
I couldn't handle all that shit that happening. Like the fact that there was
everything got tied
the
together.
goldfish was already pinned, and it's like,
Yeah.
I mean,
the two parts of the episode that killed me the most when I was watching that really kind of gave me that gut punch was one when they went into the cave and kind of figured out that he ended up getting his brother killed. Now, of course, I don't blame him. Like I said, they're kids, but as far as he's gonna take it as he killed his brother, and then to see how his mother reacted to it, I was like, oh, so that kind of broke him. But then the part where she came in and started beating him, I was like, oh, so not only did he already feel guilt over his brother dying,
yeah, but I mean, she was
his
also
mother
already.
blamed him, and then
She was already fraternizing him. Is that the right word? Like it was. No, it's not fraternizing. Isn't it?
No. What? I don't know. I'm kind of on
I'll
your
get it next
wavelength,
week.
but I can't get what you said. You get it next week.
Antagonizes him.
Yes,
Antagonizes
there
him.
you go. Antagonize.
There we go. It's similar. They're very close words.
And
Okay,
then,
I-
fraternize, antagonize. Yeah.
I finally
Or she
screwed up.
came in and started beating him.
Constantly,
Oh,
like she was running up. It's your fault, and then, like honestly, I felt the same. Like I was like, did they have to put this in here? Like you know what I mean? I was like, oh man,
That's real trauma, man. That's
like
just
I was
really
worried that they
real.
were actually going to show it because for some reason, listen, I got beaten. I didn't get beat, but like I got hidings with belts and stuff when I was growing up. That's the era that we grew up in. Like, but like that just made me all like,
Yeah.
I think because that was to the point of the reason why kids don't get hidings anymore because that was abuse. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
But
the thing. Like,
I was like, oh man.
Steven was created to escape the abuse. Jake was created to kill his mother. I don't know if Jake was created to kill his mother, but Jake is probably the darker in this version of Moon Knight because in the comic it's different. But I think in this version, Jake is probably the most evil part of Mark. Like the part where
I
he really
think, to be
doesn't
honest,
give a F.
I think Jake is the guy that when Steven snaps out of it,
Mhm.
and then he wakes up I think that's Jake doing that.
Yeah. Like he's
I don't think it's Mark as a mercenary because if you know Mark as a mercenary, he didn't remember like the whole thing is he didn't want to follow through with killing all those people.
Yeah. He doesn't want to kill just to
He-
kill. And
just
he
to
definitely
kill.
doesn't kill kids. And when they were when the people that Mark had killed started coming out and the kid came out, And he was like, oh, it's a kid. And Mark kind of was like, I didn't kill a kid. Jake did it. I think. But yeah, I think Jake is like the darker side because that would be a persona you would create because obviously Steven is definitely non-violent. Mark, yes, he's a mercenary, but you can see he's not a stone cold killer.
Yeah.
But they've been through certain scenarios now where people have ended up dead, and neither Mark nor Steven were present for it. So it has to be a third personality who doesn't give a crap, which would be a darker personality.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I think. Anyway, we'll see. I mean, introducing Jake at such a late period of the show is kind of
That's
like
what I'm saying. Like,
it's
unless they're going to leave it on a cliffhanger and
yeah,
it's going to introduce possibly the second season
yeah, a second season or an appearance in a movie or something.
or
But
something like
something
that.
I
Yeah.
did catch at the end of the last episodes, episode 4, and they did it again at the end of this episode after the end. Well, the end credits are playing. In the first episode, after the end credits, they showed the Moon Knight costume. After the second episode, they showed the Moon Knight and the Mr. Knight costume. And after the fourth episode, they show this variant Moon Knight, and Mr. Knight. So there's 3 variants of the costume, but there's only 2 personalities. And they showed it at the end of this episode too, but they haven't introduced a third personality yet. Go back and watch the end credits of Moon Knight when all the like all the Marvel shows, they show the things in the background while the credits are playing. And right before the end of the credits, you'll see like this. It's almost like what you would say is like a ninja costume.
Yeah.
Then they show the Moon Knight costume. Then they show the Mr. Knight costume. So it's like, all right, that's 3 different costumes, but only 2 personalities. So what's going on here? So there's got to be a third personality. They showed the sarcophagus. They showed Steven get out of one, another one that was locked and was shaking violently, and they never opened it. He's obviously in some type of mental break or, somewhere. I don't know. I was about to say in a mental asylum. Maybe he is in the afterlife. I mean, we've seen people go to the ancestral plane in Marvel before, so it's easy to believe that's where they are. It's just, and we know gods exist, so having the Egyptian gods really exist, that makes sense. It's like, okay, so you really don't know what's real and what's not. So we're gonna have to see what's happening. What's oh, I'm, oh. Oh man. So that's trying to be Mark as a little kid, which led them to that memory of Jake's brother being killed in the cave. So you think it was Jake and not Mark's little brother. But his parents called him Mark though. They ain't call him Jake. So Jake has to be like an alternate personality. Well, I won't say has to be, but if Jake is around, he has to be an alternate. It's just, this was a really good episode. I like episodes like this where it doesn't have to be really action packed, even though they had a good amount of action. Just the story and to keep you guessing and to have you in that state where, yeah, I gotta see how this ends. I gotta see what's coming next, because that's really where we're at. It's like we gotta see what's coming next. Like what's happening. Because everything that they've explained in this episode, if you go back and watch the first few, it's kind of like, okay, this episode makes sense from every point of view. From him being crazy or this all is really happening. Like, it makes sense on both sides. So how are we gonna wrap this up? So I want to see what happens there. But the thing that's the one thing another thing I want to mention was Steven fell off the boat, kind of turned to stone or something. The scales balanced, and Mark is in the field of reeds. Like he got accepted into the afterlife or whatever, because Tyra had said the scales balanced and then he turned and she was gone and he's in the field of reeds. So is he dead? Did he pass over to the afterlife? Is Steven around anymore? Is Mark healed? Like what's going on? Oh man. Oh,
See, the thing is,
that's kind of good. That's a good theory right there.
you see, the thing is, if you go according to the comics, it makes it very different. Because like what they're doing with Khonshu is the fact that Khonshu is gone. That didn't happen in the comics.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And, when they were on the boat and they were telling Taroret to take them back, like somehow they can get Layla to release Khonshu, so that way when he's resurrected, he won't die. Because she said, "Listen, you got bullet hole in your chest. If you go back to your body, you're dead anyway." So they want to get Layla to free Khonshu so he can get his healing power back, which is something that they specifically set up in episode 3, was it?
I think so, yeah. Where they constantly mentioned the healing power, yeah.
Yeah. So, that kind of leads me to believe, like, okay, this is real. Like, you'd have to have a real good imagination to set up your own healing factor. Like, and have that as a callback into this moment. Like, I don't know. But Nick has a good theory. Jake is the real Mark, and Mark and Steven are fictional. He's in the asylum because he killed his mom. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, at first I was kind of thinking, like, I believe it's the 4th episode where he revealed to Layla that he was there when her father died, and he was like, "Well, my partner killed your father, and then left me for dead." And I was kind of like, all right, well, his partner could be one of his alternate personalities, but then it doesn't make sense for him to say he left me for dead, because why would you wouldn't shoot yourself, because he got shot. So he couldn't. I won't say he couldn't have shot himself, because you could see he was about to shoot himself before Khonshu stopped him. But if you were sharing a body with another personality, you wouldn't kill the body because you're killing yourself. So obviously, I was like, all right, so it can't be him. So it's got to be somebody else. So in this episode, they revealed, okay, it is Bushman, the actual person who betrayed him. But like, this person, I know in the comic it was like a longtime rival of his, whatever. But what happened to that person? Did they become an avatar of one of the other gods or something like that? Like, what happened with that? Like, how did that tie into
What
the
I can
story?
remember,
Because
what
why
I
would
can
you?
remember is
that-
once someone kept bringing him back. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, okay, you're not
What?
frozen. I thought you
No, no, no.
froze. 'Cause you
No. Like someone that there's a big robbery with Khonshu keeps bringing Bushman back.
Oh,
If I
okay,
understand
gotcha.
correctly.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Because I'm like, because the part about Layla's father dying and Mark being there and his partners who killed her father, like, that doesn't really fit into the him being in the asylum, because you could make, okay, she's part of your fantasy, but and maybe your love interest, but why the whole story about your partner killing her father? And if your partner killed her father and betrayed you, and you're in an asylum, and all the people you've encountered so far are in this asylum, then that means this person should be in that asylum too, right? Logically, that would be your train of thought. So where is this person? Who's Bushman in that room of people? What character in that room of people did we see that wasn't in the show already? And
Yeah.
is that bush like, that's one of the things that makes me think, okay, this has to be real, because there's certain details that if you were making things up, we would have seen these things already, or that stuff wouldn't even matter. So why even show it to us? So,
Yeah.
but we'll see. We'll see. Mark is the real scales and our balance. They're going to be a third personality, and since the scales balance, Skinny be judged by Harold. Sometimes your text to talk, uh, uh, talk to text just kills me, because I know that's not what you're trying to say, but it's funny the way it comes out.
Maybe.
The scales balance, Skinny be judged by Harold. What? Sometimes I know what you're trying to say, but sometimes it's like I don't know what that means. What's up, Chase? Still here. And Mark made Steven punch himself for kissing Layla. Right. And that's another thing, because when a personality is in control of the body, that personality is in control. The personality in the background can't just suddenly take control of certain parts of your body. Like, that's not how that works. Now, of course, there is a mystical side to Mark slash Steven, because he has the power of Khonshu. So maybe that kind of fed into it. But in that particular moment where Mark punched Steven or made him punch himself, Khonshu was already dead. So that doesn't play into it. So how
What is it? Yeah.
yeah, what's that? So again, it could just be some inconsistent storytelling basically by the script writers. It could be in Mark's head. It could be real. It could, like, who knows? Until the show ends and they reveal everything that's going on, some
But
things just aren't going to make sense.
something's for sure is the last episode is going to be a cracker, because, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, this as far as the show itself, like, we're always gonna rank shows out favorites to least favorites, whatever. As far as I'm concerned, WandaVision is still the best Marvel Disney show. I know other people would say Loki or Falcon and Winter Soldier, whatever, Hawkeye. No, to me, WandaVision was just awesome. I don't care what people say about the first two episodes. I was so intrigued that I go back and watch it now, and I totally get it, and it's just so good, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
Moon Knight, as far as the show itself, I wouldn't put it up there with WandaVision, but the story is definitely intriguing to a WandaVision type thing for me. And now I'm just saying, for me, guys, you may feel differently. That's fine. I'm just saying, as far as I'm concerned with the storytelling, which I like more than just like flashy visuals or seeing superhero fights, like a good story will always have me. And
Yeah.
based on what they've done so far, and especially this episode, yeah, I'm totally like, I'm loving this. I'm freaking loving it.
Yeah.
So I definitely can't see how it ends. And
And that's cool, though. It leaves you expecting and waiting for more.
yeah, next week I'm either gonna be here like super psyched and like crying to you guys how good it was. I'm gonna be really upset. I don't think there's any in between.
No, I don't think so either.
Because they could really end this really badly and make us all go, come on, man. Or they could end it really
Come
good
on,
and make us
man.
go, wow. So we'll see what happens. Nick said his ranking would be WandaVision, Moon Knight, Loki, Hawkeye, then Falcon and Winter Soldier. Maybe What If. I would even put What If above Falcon and Winter Soldier. See, the thing with and I've said it before with Falcon and Winter Soldier, the original storyline was supposed to be about a virus that was spreading around the world, or not really spreading, but infecting people. And then COVID came out, which is a real virus that was infecting people, and they were like, all right, we need to change that. So the Falcon and Winter Soldier, the storyline was kind of disjointed. No fault of
Kind of screwed
theirs
up,
because
yeah.
of what
Yeah.
happened, and they couldn't do too many reshoots because we were in the middle of lockdown. So they cut it up as best they can to make a coherent show. No fault of the actors, no fault of the people who created the show. It's just shit happened, and then they tried to make it work. But that's the main reason why that show isn't as good to me, because the story it's too disjointed. So that's why I would put that further down the line than What If. But as far as the rest of your ranking, I could agree with that, because definitely WandaVision is better. I like Loki more than Moon Knight so far, but that could change based on the next episode. And of course, Hawkeye and What If, then Falcon doing so. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. Anyway, guys, that was our nerd talk about Moon Knight episode 5, The Asylum, or just Asylum. We'll see what happens next week. I say it for most shows, but this show, definitely excited to see how it ends. This is where, when you have a 6-episode run and you end it on a note like this at the end of the 5th episode, to where the 6th episode has to explain so much and at the same time be satisfying, it's exciting just to say, okay, I can't wait.
You don't know if they're gonna fit everything in.
Yeah, is it gonna be a slam dunk, or is it gonna just be a total f up? And in certain like say with Hawkeye, for example, like the last episode, I was excited going into it, but it wasn't at the level of, like, the storytelling wasn't at the level of Moon Knight, because what's going on now, where is he crazy? Is he not crazy? Is this real? Is some of it made up? Is some of it real? Like, what's going on? You don't have that in Hawkeye. In Hawkeye, you kind of know how it's gonna end. You don't know what's gonna happen, but you kind of know what's gonna end. The bad guys are gonna get defeated. Hawkeye's gonna be okay. Kate Bishop becomes the new Hawkeye. We know that from the show, and everything's gonna be all right. Like, but in Moon Knight, they could literally say, yeah, he's just a crazy guy in an asylum, and it doesn't affect anything really in the Marvel universe.
Full still fit anyway, yeah.
Right. Like Hawkeye, he's one of the original Avengers. He's been in the movies. He's a big character. You can't just sweep his adventures under the rug. But Moon Knight, yeah, he could just be a crazy guy in an asylum. And if they end it that way, in a satisfying way, I'd be okay with that. I don't want them to go that direction, but it's something I could be like, all right, if they do it proper, I'll be like, okay, fine. So we'll see what happens, man. But I like this. I like what's going on with this so far. Are you excited for Kenobi? How excited for Kenobi? Listen, Kenobi isn't one of my favorite characters, but it's Star Wars.
Star Wars.
And if you ask me anything between Star Wars and something else, I will most likely choose Star Wars. So yes, I'm super excited for Kenobi, especially since Vader's coming into the story. We get to see more Vader. Anytime I get a chance to see more Vader, I'm happy. We got the Inquisitors coming in, so you get to see more what's happening with them, and possibly get to see some Cal Kestis, maybe, probably, rumored. So I'm just gonna wait for it to come out and take it all in. Like, come on, Star Wars, baby. Oh boy. So I'm good. You got anything else to add?
No.
Yeah, I know you want to go to bed. So let's end it. Thank you guys for coming to hang out with us. As always, I'm L of the Jkl Awesome. That's my boy Pop T. Hot Popics live stream. And if you're not down with that, hold up, I gotta find the outro. We got 2 words for you.
You're still here. It's over. Go home. Go.
It's over. Go away.